They just creep up behind you, just sort of whisper it in your ear. You're like, oh no, please. That's what he doesn't like. Yeah, the one person that she appears to love.
The donkey too, but I can't confirm.
More the donkey listens to her.
See, the only reason I have yet to I haven't said anything because of that fucking donkey. If it wasn't for the fact she could control that donkey, I would have been like, fuck off.
Oh dear. So we are live.
As long as she keeps that donkey under control, she useful.
Bitch be useful because she can control the donkey. Okay. Do you guys remember what happened last session?
Something to do with hit point, budgie, cart, people.
Wrong on all accounts.
We found checkpoint bridge.
Yeah.
And then
I legitimately thought you'd written that as checkpoint Charlie, not choke point.
It fucking Musket's the one who named it. Yeah, he called it a nice choke point, so it was named Choke Point Bridge. No one gave it a better name, so...
Yeah, no. I mean, it's better than Stranglewank Bridge, isn't it?
The best kind.
What, the best kind of bridge? Or what? I don't know what kind of tolls you're paying, mate, to get over the Dartford crossing, but that's not the right kind.
Am I gonna need to get more alcohol before we start this? I feel like I'm gonna need more alcohol before we start this.
You should be fine. You're not going to visit Barham, right? The shopkeeper.
Oh right. No, we did that last
You
time.
did
before the
indeed.
session
Yeah,
ended.
we're leaving. We're leaving now. We're going
Yep,
away.
when we left off, you were...
We're going away. Far away.
When we left off, you had started traveling southwards.
yes.
We had indeed.
Towards the quarry.
Yep, towards the quarry, and after a few hours of travel,
Why are we Prince Edward and the Knights of the
I
Round
think you
Table?
mean King Arthur.
Same difference.
Not really.
No, no, there really isn't. No, no. That's like saying, why do we look so much like George Nixon? Fucking Richard Nixon in that. When he's like a picture of JFK.
What is your favorite color?
Ah.
A headless body of a hag no.
But we basically agreed that was your party token.
I must have missed that conversation.
You must have.
But yeah, after several hours out of the town, you go past the sort of turning in this little like dirt track road that leads onto the quarry. Are you gonna stop at the quarry or just keep going?
Yeah, might as well keep going.
Should
I don't know
check
any
on
reason
the
we should stop
quarry?
here.
You're a
Uh,
permanent
for it.
camp at the quarry.
I think there is from.
I mean, there is, but they're probably all hard at work.
I'm sure there's some manager sitting on his ass.
I mean, you'd think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I
don't. Honestly, I don't think we have to like head out that way and check in on the quarry.
Yeah,
I don't think our job is to, go in and make sure they're fucking working out.
Nah,
I mean,
you're
they could have information on the surrounding area. Ah, who am I kidding? They don't have anything useful.
Well, just from personal, just from the sort of personal fucking experience we've had with these people, I don't think they have any fucking clue what's going on past Yarn.
You'd be
yeah,
right.
you're right. All right, let's go.
So you're gonna start heading further south.
Further south.
Okay.
Follow the because it's sort of a track.
Follow the
isn't
white
it?
brick road.
Follow the white brick road.
Follow the white brick
Or
road.
has the track ended and turned in towards the Iron Quarry? Does it continue? on,
The
or-
track ends with turning in, so it's kind of off-road from here, but it seems like it's mostly flatlands surrounded by hills.
Oh,
So
off-roading. Have we got a winch?
Are we going muddy?
no, you're not going mudding.
Yeah.
It's a sort of open green field
For
for
now.
now. Yes.
This is like fucking Divinity again. What are you doing? Rain. Everything's damp.
Fucking Jonas. So
Lightning
yeah,
touch.
you continue. It's called Shocking Grasp. God damn it.
Thing.
So you continue off-road now for about half an hour, 45 minutes or so, just trotting along, and then you come to what appears to be
Right.
a camp of some sort, but it's not like the sort of camp where you would set up for the night and stay. It seems like it's a building camp. There are a couple of busted up wheelbarrows, a couple of busted up carts that are just rotted away for the most part. There's also a couple of tents that have the fabric is pretty much rotted away completely, and there's a sort of wooden frame that's half in the process of rotting away, and a bunch of
So
stones.
sort of like a building.
Yeah, kind of.
Hey,
Hey, perfectly timed.
hello.
Yeah, I
Just finished.
got confused when you said building camp.
Sorry, I
Building
didn't get
site.
didn't get any of your messages. Sorry, because it's turned off.
That's fair.
so.
It's
Didn't get you just because I'm ignoring.
yep, pretty
you,
much.
'cause you're a
You're a
dick.
dick.
Well, you knew I wasn't.
Oh
Gonna
yeah,
be
I
here.
know. Yeah, it's essentially like a construction site, and funnily enough, you can pretty much see what they were building, as there is a stone road leading off into the distance to the south, and it appears that there's a divot in the ground about 3 or 4 feet or so before the stone road ends, and it's completely grown in, but you can imagine by just looking at it that this is where the next section of the stone road was going to be going.
Wait, so now,
So the road leads
So-
away to the
Yes.
south.
and we see a building?
Not really. There's a frame
Wait.
of what could be best described as like a wigwam tent.
Holy cow.
Okay, hang on. Hold on.
Think fucking a marquee type tent. There's like
So an Indian. It's an Indian.
kind of a cross between the two. There's a wooden frame left, but most
A
of
gazebo.
yeah, we'll go with a
Yeah,
gazebo.
you think of a gazebo.
Most
yeah.
of the like fabric is completely rotted away and gone. The wooden frame is mostly rotted through and collapsed, but you can
It's a hexagonal game.
yeah, we'll go with that. You
Hmm.
can sort of see what it
Baffling.
was at one point, but is no longer.
Architecturally demanding.
You are also now off the known marked map.
All right.
Someone has their drawing skills polished.
Yes,
No,
I
we
am.
could do that.
I am.
Is Juliet with us? I'd like to point out. Okay, cool.
I.
Yeah.
Me
No,
and Juliet.
I've
Well, I don't
not
know
had
if she was
chance to
like-
punt her off the
I
back
don't
of
know
the
if she was
car.
like left behind or something. So
With her in the lead, I am assisting her with doing drawing. So she has the proficiency in it, I assume.
Well, she did an alright job the first time, and she seemed to know what she was doing with the tools, so.
I would fucking hope so.
So she'll be rolling with advantage for this. That is a 19. So she skillfully draws out a decent section of the map that you guys can see in the surrounding area around you and that. Unfortunately, you are in a hilly area. So there's a good portion of the territory that is over hills. She can't quite see it to make it out. But it's a pretty accurate approximation of what you're seeing. And you can also see from where you currently are at the camp, there is a forest that she has marked on the map about 2 kilometers down the road.
Okay.
Well, I
Alright.
guess we just carry on this way.
Yes.
Continue on. Go see what that building
Nothing
is.
else, yeah. There's a building?
Oh, it
Yeah.
was-
I
we-
swear to
Sorry,
God,
I've been
the
sleeping for a
person
while,
who's
20
drawn the
minutes.
dick is gonna die.
There's no dick.
That you can fucking see.
Oh, fucking look at that. Blind drawing again. Nailed it.
Make note, kill Josiah.
Yeah, I just want to point out you are also the easiest one to kill. You have less health than Juliet.
Yeah?
Hey, don't diss Juliet, man. She will
Only
fucking
find
shank
one
you and you'll never see it coming.
Don't worry, he has big dick energy. He's got it.
Those goggles are the size of his dick.
Whoa!
So it's not about length, it's about width then.
He also has 2 of them.
Wait, what the hell?
Oh, no.
They're like detachable.
Fucking Orlok Dick's back with us again, isn't it?
Oh dear.
Must have smuggled it in.
And I've made my return.
I'm definitely gonna need some alcohol before we continue on.
I wish I could have alcohol. I've got nothing to mix. I've got straight vodka or straight Kraken, and that's it.
Mix those two.
Straight vodka.
Nah, I'm not mixing it without a mixer. Not for both of them together, because then I could make myself a dark Russian, have a nice orange in there, be a nice classy night.
You classy.
We need a drunk session. I'm actually very classy.
Shaken, not stirred.
Second, third.
Which is a moot
Oh,
point because
oh,
it's not a
pardon.
martini if it's stirred, but okay. So you're continuing down and not sort of going up to one of the hills, see if you can get a better eye.
Well, I mean, if we passed that sort of building site,
You sort of stopped at it to sort of examine it, get note down on the map the areas, that sort of thing. Make an investigation check for me.
Ooh, I get to roll a die.
Oh yes, thank you, Daddy. I finally get to
Holy
do
shit,
something.
nice one.
Ooh, it's good investigation.
We're off to a good start. Unless you're red.
No,
Oh,
now we can
downhill
only go
from
downhill.
here.
Yeah.
So you sort of spend 5-10 minutes searching around the camp. You find a couple of piles of rocks, mostly rotted wood and such. You find a chest, but it looks like it was probably filled with construction notes and pathing routes and such, but it's all just been destroyed by age and the weather.
So no sort of like any idea to gauge how old or
Ooh. Give me an intelligence check.
oh no.
For a dump set, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
With you're looking around at the sort of the wood, the wheelbarrows, the chest, and that sort of thing. You look at the chest, you see that it's the bits of wood and that are there. It was reasonably thick, maybe half an inch to an inch thick.
Thick.
Yes, with 2 C's this time. It's difficult to tell with the rain damage and such that has happened to all of this equipment and such. But for the most part, you gather that this stuff was probably abandoned maybe 70 years ago, maybe. possibly earlier. You're not really sure.
Just
Call
as
it-
clarification,
Call it
that's
anywhere between
before-
50 and 100.
Yeah, we'll say
then.
just between
that's
50 and
before
100.
the
See,
Wait,
if
wait,
you
just
wanted to
wait,
determine,
settlers arrived, right?
Wait, what are you looking
Oh,
at specifically?
Just sort of all of the wood and that.
Yeah, just sort of
if
try
you want
just,
to determine the age of wood, look at how many rings it's
Not the
got.
age of the wood, you
It's-
pillock.
not,
And I'm just,
hang on,
I'm
Ellipsis,
just-
come over here. I need to chop your knob off because I need to count how old.
I'm just checking. So
I
if
have
you
many
if I look
knobs.
down,
Choose wisely, one.
if I look down, it's a stone like cobble-ish kind of road. It's like stonework.
Yeah, there's mortar holding it all together and that. It's pretty advanced, actually. More advanced than anything Yaren has.
I'm so excited. I get to use the one thing I've never used before.
Oh dear.
Oh, for fuck's sake, the dwarven racial.
Is
I
he gonna
get to
talk to
investigate
the
stonework.
Fucking
Yeah, there it
hell.
is.
Alright. Make
How old is this stone?
Make a history
the
check.
history?
Or he just rolls like
As
two.
he rolls a 1.
Yeah,
please do.
rolls like a 2 and a 5.
Just so excited. Stonework involved. They just lose their
Stonework,
muscle.
yes.
To be fair, Red could
I'm
also
just
make
saying.
this roll.
Yeah, no, I'm letting him fuck up first.
Well, yeah, you can help. Oh my god.
Can't get double
All right,
advantage.
so
Yeah,
With-
no, you can't get
Well,
double.
that's not even rolling an
He's not
advantage.
getting advantage.
That's just adding
Yeah, no, he's
double
not
your
getting
proficiency,
advantage.
which is 2?
Oh,
you
that's
literally
double
just add-
proficiency, yeah.
Oh, no, what's your proficiency in history?
my proficiency in history is
Well,
2. It would
How
be
did you get
2.
5?
Okay, so...
Well, you probably-
So 3 for 5. So 5.
Okay, so...
5 is what I would have
You
gotten.
got
I had
12
proficiency.
then.
No, I got 10.
How did you get a 5 if you're doubling something?
Wait, I double proficiency?
Yeah, it counts as
Yeah, you
double
double-
your
that's
the whole-
proficiency bonus to the check. So what's your proficiency bonus?
Oh,
So-
so yeah, 12.
So if you are proficient in history, you get your whatever the bonus number is next to your fucking history skill, right? Proficiency. But you also add your proficiency bonus, like regular proficiency bonus, on
You
top
get
of that.
15 basically in this case. I'm pretty sure.
Well, what's his proficiency bonus? I think it's
So double your
3.
proficiency bonus.
I-
To check.
Oh,
if you're
when the
not-
No,
proficiency be
proficiency
five.
bonus.
Yeah, his
Okay, so
proficiency
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
5,
So 12,
so
12,
it's
12,
10.
12, 12.
Okay.
It's 12.
It's his
It's his
proficiency
proficiency
bonus,
bonus.
not his
Yeah.
history
Oh,
stat.
proficiency.
It-
Oh yes, sorry, yes, it's proficiency bonus. Yeah.
No, so it's 12.
Okay, so 12. It's difficult to tell exactly how old the stone is. You gather that the stone is probably tens of thousands of years old, and it was probably mined around 300-ish years ago. But it's difficult to tell with the weathering on it. But around 250, 300 years ago.
Okay, then. That's fucking all.
Are you going to share any of this information that you have lovingly decided to discover?
So you said
I
200.
will as soon as I
and
start.
250 to
200.
300 years, somewhere around that area.
250 and 300 or 300.
If you'd rolled higher, you'd have got a more exact time frame.
I looked down and I'm like,
Rocks.
Stone.
Rocks and
I'm just looking at them in a monologue in my head. What I think he's doing. Look at these rocks. They're fucking
Stone.
amazing.
Lots of pebbles.
50 to 300 years old.
Like, sorry, I couldn't hear you with the voice of God shouting pebbles there. Could you repeat that?
Oh, this stone seems to be laid out about 250 years or 300 years ago.
I'd like a second opinion.
I'm sorry, what?
We have another resident rock eater.
I love that. I love
Yes,
that. I
yes.
want
Okay,
that.
yeah. You won't say that with works in your mouth.
Right, just
Shush you.
listen. Not you. I've had enough of this shit.
Oh, God.
Well, you need to be quiet when you're down here.
Yeah, Runic.
Right. Oh, alright, fine, jeez. No, that's fine. I'll just,
No, not you. The little
No,
one
it's
just wandered
not.
down.
that's
Like
me.
you
Alright, Red,
Fine.
roll a history
Alright.
check with double your proficiency bonus.
Alright, so plus.
If this is a natural 20, I will give you the exact fucking day that it was cut.
What, this is plus 6 because I've got 4 in it?
It would
or would
be
it double the 4 that I've got
4
there?
No, it
plus
doubles your bonus.
Yeah.
4.
It adds an extra proficiency, but
4 plus
no.
4.
it
Okay,
adds
so
an extra...
this plus 4 then.
Well, no, he has his
Depends on your-
proficiency bonus, and then that's double.
Yeah.
Oh,
So...
that's still a 9.
It's still a natural
That's
1.
like-
No,
Still a
no, it
9.
isn't a 9. We've just been over this. Fucking, that's not how proficiency bonuses work. Jeez,
Alright, then it's a 7.
You should-
there
It's
you
still
go.
a natural 1.
proficiency bonus.
Welcome to
As-
maths.
So,
It's still in that
Fucking
one.
hell, I shouldn't have to be explaining how simple maths
Yeah.
works to
Alright.
people.
You know what? I got people yelling at me constantly. The little one's banging away at a pipe for no reason. There's a lot going on.
bang
okay?
away at your pipe in a minute.
There you go. You stick with
Yeah,
that
sure,
voice for a
sure.
change.
Fuck off.
Be nice not being in a cider
Stick with
festival.
that place. Yeah, like,
Okay.
Screw you and your pipe.
So, you're looking at this stone. And you're looking at it. Really pensively.
In the monologuing. The stone.
and then I realized that I really don't care.
Yeah, pretty much. You've no fucking idea. You really couldn't care less.
I don't think the stone has been laid yet.
The stone
Actually,
grew
stone's
here. Yeah, as far as you're concerned, the stone fucking popped out of the ground and it's just been there naturally. You don't give a shit.
I'm just gonna shrug.
Oh, fuck no.
That is a great second opinion. I think I second that.
I agree with that second opinion.
None of you care. Good to know.
Right, now we've had a democratic decision on stones. Shall we carry on?
Through the forest or to the high ground?
To the high ground? To the high ground.
Alright, Obi-Wan, hang on.
Wow, they get
I
a
mean, yeah, getting up on a hill nearby to get a better look around would probably be a good idea.
double proficiency with high ground.
No, just double whatever you roll with high ground.
Crit, automatic crits.
So which way are you going? Which side? Because you have two sides that you can go. Or are you just gonna sort of do a bowl tour and do both sides?
How long would it take to do that? If we went to, like, say, to the east side and then to the west side?
West side, probably about hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to do both.
What time's it now?
Now it would probably be approaching about 4:30 p.m.
Basically putting us into... I mean, we could... I turn to everybody else. We could circle both hills and then call it there for today. Approaches it around about
6 p.m.
6, 7
Yeah.
p.m. Yeah. It's starting to get... I'm guessing it's
Probably
starting to
a
get
good idea.
dark, or are you doing, like,
it'll
the British way where it stays sunny till, like,
It's
8:30?
judging on yesterday's experience when you were in the west, it gets dark around 8 p.m. ish. So you'd still have almost 2 hours of daylight, decent daylight for about an hour, and then it would start getting to sort of twilight.
Well, I think circling both the mountains and maybe just calling it there for today. Maybe going back to Yaren, maybe camping here.
Yaren is a 3.5 hour
nearby.
trip back.
Camping here.
Camping here.
Or
We're
nearby.
definitely
in
camping.
general.
Well,
Also, these
well, we also have
everything you've slept on since the tavern has been more comfortable.
Camp on the high ground.
We also have to remember that we gotta see how the nightlife is around here.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, that's true.
And if I remember
There are
correctly,
actually 3
there
new
were,
clubs that have opened, so pretty banging.
Bruh, what are they
there
called?
were wolves on near the bridge, from what we could hear, and something else was it? I don't remember.
There was rustling.
so.
Josiah, being the prick he is, never told any of you about the roar that he heard.
No, what roar?
See? He doesn't
Oh,
even
roar,
remember
yeah,
it.
no. No, I didn't tell any of you because I just assumed none of you had. Sorry, I thought you meant just now. I was like, fucking, I was rummaging through a chest. I didn't think it roared at me.
The chest is a mimic.
It's a mimic.
But yeah, I have my like notes out, like where I'm writing shit down. And I'm like, well, so I remember when I was getting to doing my watch. I heard wolves. You guys hear anything else?
Yeah, the usual wolves.
More
bears,
wolves.
Wolves and bears? You said?
Wolves. Well, no, where the fuck did the bears come from? Have you
I
heard
heard
any-
bear. I heard bear. I heard bear.
Who from?
I don't know. You.
I didn't say bears. I said fucking wolves.
Oh, what'd you say afterwards?
I think he's suffering from rock withdrawals.
Ah, it's okay.
The
Shut
best
up.
thing is,
He's
even
fine.
when
Alright,
you're out
alright.
on it, he's still not fucking telling you.
All right,
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
fine,
shall
fine.
we circle around to the east then, and then head over to the west and camp maybe on one of the hills? Call it there.
High
I
ground's always
legitimately,
good.
when Viking was describing the sort of the building site earlier, and he was like, it's like a camp, but not a usual sort of camp, more of a. And I was thinking, is he going to say Elton John kind of camp? I was
It's just a big
Oh, we
gay
went-
troll.
We went.
no,
completely
I
different
was
places.
just expecting there to be lots of feathers and
Oh,
like glitter.
we went, it's a camp, but not kind of a camp. The camp has fences around it, and guard towers. I was like, hang on.
And a train leading into the main entrance.
Stripy pajamas.
Yeah,
Shush.
that's why I went with that before you went. To
Shush.
and I was like,
That
that is
musket. Oi.
two.
Right,
No,
see,
no, you.
see, no, Red,
Down there.
shut
Down.
you. You need to shut up.
Not you.
No, I'm trying to make.
God,
Musket
this
shut
little one's so annoying.
Yeah. Children
I
are.
think we're annoying. Red,
Um,
walk,
Right, well, fine. Fuck it, I'll fucking walk.
No.
Fucking sick
Right,
of this.
so-
Fucking
Okay,
ward
I'm-
telling me.
I'm definitely gonna get some alcohol.
So you're what? All
well,
heading
should we
east.
head over to the east, and then over to the west hill?
Okay,
Yeah.
so you all travel east. It takes you about
Wait, what? Why?
Because that's what we decided, and nobody contested it.
Everyone was fucking. You decided. I didn't hear
Yeah.
shit.
It's gone. We've said this at least
We-
4 times.
Well, yeah,
Jim.
there has been. Yeah, you
had agreed to
started
it.
talking about what
I-
we'd heard on Watch the other night out of nowhere. Everyone else was going, do we go up the hills and then double back around and then camp? for the
Oh
night?"
no. Why
Yeah.
would we do that?
Because we're running out of daylight, and we may as well scout the last of this area, then camp for the night.
Yeah, that's what you do at night time. Is you camp.
Well, I was gonna say we should count where people would most likely camp out here.
Well, we can probably see it from the top.
Yeah, the closest hill to you is about 300 meters from the road.
Or we could just walk in some low level until we get back to the road, if we need to get to the road.
The only reason I think so is like we should be where people would most likely be able to walk down these roads. If wild animals will most likely to come see them here and come try to eat them, we'll know.
Did we
like,
not
hey,
have
be
this
careful.
conversation the other day?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm getting a lot of fucking deja vu from the other night, where
And that we
where
did,
this
we did
this
it.
was presented and we decided that it was a load of old shit.
No, we actually literally went to the side of the road and camped.
Well, let's
We
put it
did-
this
Yeah,
way.
that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna head up the hill to see what we can see nearby. Go back down, look up to the other one on the other side to see what we can see nearby, and then settle in an appropriate camp spot. We're not climbing a hill to fucking camp at the top of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it would be quite
Oh, but
windy.
camping on top of the hill.
you guys from
We-
the
we-
south.
we-
Let's not
We've
think.
just Jesus, right?
I
I'm
didn't
sorry, right, Master Dwarf. Do me a favor. Do you want to just sit there?
He's
and
still
make sure
standing on
Juliet. No,
no, that's red.
Just make sure Juliet's right in the fucking.
No.
Oi, hold that cart up. Don't make it go too fast. I'm walking here because that cunt told me to get off.
Right.
Just the right.
I'm just sitting there trying to ignore all of this.
You're drawing a
I'm
tree.
just going up. I'm going front at the
Yep.
front. Then, I guess.
Yep.
I've never wanted more rum than.
Okay, so you're all
wish we had
heading
rum.
east. Is this an agreed consensus?
Yeah.
It's the 5th.
Okay. So you all sort of head east. It takes you about
Hold on a minute. What? East? I thought we were going.
I will slap
thought we
you
were
so
going
hard.
I thought we were going west.
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 Do you mean southwest?
No, west.
I think he's fucking schwammered.
I know why this is happening. It's because none of us have had alcohol yet, and our characters are not feeling it okay right now.
Oh dear.
It's okay. I shall use metaplanar magic to make my character drunk as I get progressively drunker as the night goes on.
So you all sort of travel over these hills and far away. It takes you about 45 minutes to get to a good few hundred meters away from the road. The hills slow the donkey and the cart down considerably, but then get up some speed as they go down and so on. It's starting to get dark. You gauge that you probably have about an hour and a half at most of daylight left. But as you go crest this next hill, you actually do see more in the distance.
Damn you, distance.
And that's
God, I saw more trees.
about what you see. You can see
Ooh, like,
a river, or something similar to a river. It's quite wide. There's no bridge this time.
a lake.
Wide.
Thick. Wide. And you can sort of see a shore on the other side of it.
Sure, what's he doing here?
Fucking ha.
He's currently sniping.
Oh, I
It's down
see.
the other side of the shore. Shooting up. That's what killed that bloke.
Shore on the shore.
You see a glint of a scope.
Shore on the seashore, selling his seashells.
Oh shit, it's Nutters and Valkyrie. Run for the hills.
It's alright.
Sure,
The
sure,
only
he
one
was
you
up
need to
the
fear is
shore.
Nutters.
But he was unsure that he had shore.
So what else?
It goes down to a sort of the hills continue on for a little way, and you can then see where they edge onto the river. It seems pretty flat, all things considered. It doesn't seem like it's anything really too noteworthy, apart from obviously noting it on the map. But for the most part, it just seems like it's more open terrain and such. But it was more than was on the map before.
Right. Right.
See anything on the
Down
other
this
side of the
hill.
lake? More hills?
You
or
can
is it,
see it's very difficult to make out because it's at the very, very edge of what you can physically see. But it's sort of indeed. It's
how far is that? 10 kilometers?
30. From a high point, you can see 30 kilometers before the Coriolis effect takes things completely out of view.
Yeah, no, I know, but that map,
yeah.
right? That
Yeah,
map
from
and the
here-
scale you have on the bottom left is the maximum of
Is-
that scale is
yeah.
30 kilometers, and you've highlighted maybe 6 from the top. Of It's dark. Okay,
It
so
is
we can't
getting
see because
dark,
it's
and
That's
there is fog in the distance.
I say
Okay.
we stay on
okay,
this
the
hill
fog-
to bullshit the
okay.
DM.
always goes well.
Or
Let's-
you
let's-
could
let's
not do
call
that
him
and just let me say how far you can fucking see. But yes, there is fog in the distance, but it appears to be sort of edging onto a swamp, maybe? It's tricky to tell.
It's a lot of biomes in this place.
Stop calling them
Land is fucked
fucking
up.
biomes.
I mean, technically, I'm not
I
wrong.
know, but you're pissing me off.
Minecraft fields.
Are you heading?
Oh, where's another portal?
Are you heading back west?
Guys, there's another portal. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we can ford that river. Let's head back.
I think that
I think
river's
we'll just get up on the hills there.
Okay.
yeah.
So you'll sort of spend about another hour and a bit or so making your way over to these hills, which, upon cresting one of the taller ones, you see the mountainside a bit clearer. You can see where it actually lands and goes into the ground now, whereas before you could just kind of see the sides of the mountain. And a big fucking lake.
Dog dwarfs. Rocks.
And
Got a
I want
looking
to
glass.
smack you so much.
Not even gonna look up.
you can.
Am I like?
I'm not
like
looking up.
30
I'm not
yards
looking up.
behind- Am I like 30 yards behind the cart now, sort of struggling to keep up because they made me go.
Well, we didn't. Red did.
That was out of character.
No, it wasn't.
I'm not gonna argue with.
Okay,
that.
me yelling at the little one is not me yelling at the gnome. It's me yelling at the younger brother who is a dunce.
Right.
That just wanders into my
Wait.
room whenever it feels
Your
like.
room
Yeah,
is the
Does he
basement.
have a camp? Does he have
Yes,
a pointy
ma'am.
white camp with a giant D on it?
I wish I did. I'd duct tape it to his head.
Gorilla tape, mate.
No.
Man, super glue.
And yeah, you
Yeah.
mark down.
Any of the, or all of the
You
above.
mark down
What
on
was
the
it?
map the sort of
Nails.
the thing that you can see. You can sort of see the edge of the woods from where you are, leading off. Actually, you can see about there. That's about as far as you can see.
We should climb that mountain.
I will stick to the roads.
Yes,
I only say.
you can see this
I-
mountain going a long fucking way, probably all the way back to the quarry and beyond.
They look like so it looks like
It's
a
a full
range.
mountain range.
I'll range you in.
Not to belittle your map making skills or anything, but Jesus Christ, these massive mountain ranges have got a fairly small foot.
You're fairly fucking
Small what
small.
They really do.
I'm fairly
They're
Yeah.
very, they're
I've
very
been
much
told.
sheer cliff kind of mountains, I'd imagine.
Yeah,
Look, that's what
It's sort of
Incarnate
like
gave me to use, so I used it. Fuck off.
No.
You're on the hilly bit at the moment.
Incarnate's fault.
The
You don't
hilly bit.
understand what- Is this why Alpha gets lost? Because one of Alpha Command doesn't understand how a map works.
Him and Symbol both.
Fuck off.
Well, no, Symbol's just directionally challenged.
No, Symbol's an idiot.
His idea of
Directionally
same.
challenged.
his idea of telling you to form up on somebody is just me. Where's me? I don't know. Okay.
But a big blue building in a fucking city surrounded by big blue buildings. Or by the tree in the forest.
Vikings 5 kilometers away going, I think I'm about 18 feet from you guys.
I'm gonna smack
Judging
you.
by the map, I should be around the corner.
There's a lot of symbols shaming going on right now.
So you mark this
Are you
all down
complaining?
on the map. We could start bitching at you.
Yeah, but you could, but eventually I'll be above you, so I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Musket's planning a coup.
Musket's always
you would
planning a
look
coup.
Yeah, but yeah, the difficulty with Musket is the fact he's got all the leadership potential of a damp sponge.
Yeah.
So
You say that, but my coups have been successful.
that's all
You say that, but you're getting shuffled off to Phoenix.
Above,
Oh,
above. Well, actually, one position below.
Well, there you
Viking,
go then.
and
You're
I'm
not
on
going to
the
be
Atlantic.
above me, are you?
Anyway, Armco
So-
politics aside.
I think that shows more about Phoenix's ability to be led by a sponge. Than it does
Yeah,
about-
that's fair. Like I said, they do pretty much most of it themselves.
Yeah, to be fair, the Herodic, our nominal leader, V'ger, is never there, and Darman's
Yeah.
oftentimes doing other things. None of us doesn't want to do it. I sure as shit don't want to do it.
Phoenix
I mean,
runs
I
himself,
managed,
but
you say I've got.
Well, you
the
can't do it.
sponge, but I
I
made
can't
red
do it.
for
I will.
somebody else.
I'm sorry, you made me what?
Peak
Oh, so you're not a corpsman. Okay.
charisma.
Yeah,
I
well,
made
I'm
me
a foreman.
somebody
used to be a
else in
team
my
leader.
place.
You
Okay, making me execute somebody else isn't a success on your part. It's me being a dumbass.
Which isn't
No,
hard.
how do you know? Like, how do you know?
No,
I
it really isn't.
So should we set up
Are you going
camp?
to set up camp on the hills or head back down to the road?
This is
No,
a
when
good
they're
place to
trying
set
to
up camp.
figure out- They're
High
trying to
ground.
figure out why 90% of ops end up in Alpha arguing with itself for 3
I think we've
kilometers.
just
You have to
fucking
leave it
figured
with it.
out. It's the command
Those who want
members
a
of
background-
Alpha.
For those who want a background now, how Fourth Bat operates things, you've come to the right stream.
George, know the interpolicies of Alpha, Zulu, and Phoenix? Well, boys. Let me walk through
Okay.
a detailed explanation of every member.
So Alpha runs into a lot of infighting. Phoenix, everyone leaves alone. Zulu, everyone forgets about.
Yeah, kind
Let's
of.
start with Ruby.
Zulu everyone forgets about until they clear an area on their own.
Runic started as the glorified
Or
receptionist.
get
and a lot of
themselves all killed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right then. So are you heading back down to the road to camp, or are you going to camp
yes.
just there?
Camp
Yeah,
right next to the
road.
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 Camp
Stay
right next to
Okay,
the
so
road.
next
I
to
mean,
the
near the
you
road,
can
it doesn't have to
you
be
can
on the
camp
road.
next to the camp that's there. Well, the remnants of the camp that's there.
Seems entirely pointless.
Can we mark the remnants on the map just with a bit of text or
Yep.
something?
I will do that right now.
Because I imagine somebody, upon seeing this, would have sketched something on the map to say that there's
Aye.
something. Yeah.
You are implying competence, where we have certainly found a full city of nothing but.
No, but we're doing it. They're not doing
Nothing
it.
but what?
Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing but.
Nothing
Oh
but
no,
nothing.
Watchers
Yeah,
the Grid
precisely.
will not let me put it where it belongs.
But no, I've been copying the notes, or rather the maps that Juliet's been
You
making.
motherfucker! You know what? Just sit there.
Yeah, I
There we go.
So, yeah.
It's right fucking there.
It's just at the edge of the forest.
Yeah,
That's not how you draw things.
fuck
okay?
off. It's as best as I can do on this piece of shit.
Somebody turned into a dick.
think you forgot to add the balls.
I
to it.
swear to God, if I zoom out and there's a...
Sorry, the what?
You're a dick. You're an absolute bellend.
That one actually wasn't
No,
me. I
it's
was really
fucking
excited.
Runic or Musket.
It's always runic.
It's runic. I'm not doing shit. I don't know how to draw on fucking rolls. Oh, I figured out how to draw
Oh,
on funny.
Christ.
It's like, I don't know how to draw. It's like, come on, literally chimps could draw.
Yeah. I was like, how
Well,
do I
Chimp
draw?
clearly is, aren't they, Runic? Yeah.
Runic's a moose. Get it right.
Does Runic
So-
want a button? No?
As
So you all sort of make your way back down. It's getting quite dark now. None of you are really having trouble seeing, apart from Logan, due to his he can still see a fair
Oh.
way.
Due to withdrawals,
I-
obviously.
I would lay a torch after a certain point.
Oh, yeah,
just
yeah.
because it does help us
You'll be
still,
at the
because we can see past the torch
you'll be
better.
at the camp by the time it gets fully dark. And you make your way back and you set up camp. So your camp consists of a couple of bedrolls and pulling the cart up.
Oh yeah, we don't have any tents, do we?
Not at the moment.
We don't have a tarp. Wait, wasn't there some sort of gazebo-esque fucking thing here?
Yes, but most of the
Framework, not the
fabric is
actual-
gone.
Oh, was it just the framework? Okay, I wasn't. I
You
wasn't
might
there
be
for
able
that.
to make a nice handkerchief out of some rotting fabric.
Right,
All that
Ellipsis,
paper in that chest.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, Ellipsis, we could always camp under the collapsed gazebo. At least then, you know,
Why don't you try that out for us, darling? That seems
Darling!
like a brilliant idea.
Darling.
you
Darling.
can do it. I'm just going to climb back into the cart and fall asleep in there.
Who's taking first watch?
I'll take first
Hold,
watch.
hold on. Before we start taking watches, I go out and I take out
Never
my
been
silver wire, and I go ahead and start a little tiny bell and silver wire, and I just start making an area.
Oh god, guys,
over,
he's
like,
got the
maybe
alarm spell. He's
10
got the alarm
feet.
spell.
10 feet away from the cart, or at least where people are sleeping. I just start making like an area around us where, where we
I'm
kind of
gonna
have an
follow
alarm
them
system.
posting switches in the ground, equidistance.
Planting what?
Start doing what?
Oh.
Oh, torches.
I honestly said something else.
Landmine.
Yeah, I'm placing landmines by the wires.
No,
Landmines? Oh my god, they planted landmines.
It takes
I-
about an hour, but
I heard planting horses. That's why I questioned it, because I heard horses.
See, what you don't know is that I'm a expert animal husbandman. And I got some horse seed from the. I'm planting that seed to grow more horses.
We wake up in the morning and like the neck has grown.
That's a really,
Yes.
it's like an eco-terrorist version of the Godfather.
you can see a kind of floating hand helping him do this spell, just like do.
Oh, look at him fucking got a new set of spells and he's showing off.
He's had mage hand.
I've
Oh,
had
yeah.
Mage Hand this entire time. He uses Mage Hand for like everything.
Can you do that actually? Mage hand is concentration.
It's not concentration.
Alarm
No, it's
is,
not.
isn't it?
Nope, but
No.
no.
I don't believe so.
neither of them are concentrations. Trust me, I would have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put them together if I could. Yeah. The only spell I actually have that is concentration is detect magic. Literally it.
It's a good spell.
But yeah, so I go through kind of with my mage hand helping me along the way and set up an alarm around this all. And then go, ha! And then as I make sure I
Why are you putting string around us?
oh, so it's a spell a long time ago. I totally forgot about it until I was reading through my book yesterday. I refound a spell that helps me basically create an alarm. If you know the so basic idea
Got a fucking
that
chonky horse.
10 feet away from about 20 feet away from the cot and where we're all sleeping, if anyone or anything that's not you guys or me comes through it, we'll know. So being sneak up on us gonna be a little rough.
It can be no larger than a
Yeah.
20-foot cube.
Yep, and that's why I cast
Yeah,
it
so
multiple times.
So 20 foot by 20 foot by 20 foot.
How is it a total spell?
What?
Hey, Bellin, how
Yeah.
many spell slots do you have?
Doesn't matter because it's ritual.
No,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
means
Yeah,
that it's
that's-
going to take a couple hours to actually circle the camp then.
No, it'll only take half
That's
an
what
hour.
I said. Yeah,
Well, to do
the
4
camp
is going to
will probably
take
be an hour.
yeah about 45 minutes.
Yeah, like it
Yeah,
won't take
because
that
what?
long.
And is it a minute casting time?
Ritual's
10
10 minutes.
10 minutes
Well,
plus
ritual's
a
10
minute
minutes
for
plus.
the first level. So it's 11 minutes each time.
It's 11
So
minutes
it'll come
each.
to 44 minutes to do it 4 times.
You draw with your.
It would be up here. It'd be this far away because it's not 20 feet out, and that's also 25. It's 20.
It's 20
It's
It would
20
be like
from.
what?
It's 20 from the center.
That?
20 feet radii.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah.
Well, no, he was doing it around the edges of the camp.
Well, at max, it would be the purple square.
Well, yeah.
For one casting.
The purple square is one casting. If he does it a
Yeah.
couple of times, you'll be able to cover a little bit of an larger area.
We'll say
Yeah.
fucking
Whoa.
about that.
Hold on. That'll be about what it looks like, with
Yeah,
it
this-
being 120 divided by 20 being. Can I even think numbers?
That'd be 5.
That'll be
Yeah,
5.
that
So yeah,
That was
about
six.
an hour. Because it'll take about. I think it's 11 minutes.
6 even,
Or
yeah.
10 to 11
It's 11 minutes.
I mean,
It takes 10 minutes for
So
a
then-
ritual and an additional minute per level of spell you're casting.
So,
you could
about an
just
hour.
cast 4 and get out to there with a square around each of us.
Cube,
So yeah, that's 20 feet.
20-foot cube.
Yeah, you got to remember that a cube doesn't just go out 20 feet in all directions. It technically.
Yeah,
It's a 20 feet radius.
that's what I'm saying.
So like that. And then 4 of those around us, and that would give us plenty of time.
No larger than a
Yeah.
20-foot cube.
It's 20-foot radius, though, not diameter. So 20 feet to there.
Is it though?
No,
Yeah.
usually when it's a
Spell
20-foot
Bring the
cube,
spell on the
then
screen.
it's 20 foot on each
Click the
side.
spell, please.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it would be
if
20
it's a
foot on
cube
each
of
side.
20 feet, then
Yeah.
it's a cube
It's
with
equal.
20 feet at the side.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
equal.
Okay, so 4 squares then. Okay.
If he takes an hour and casts it ritually, he'll do a ring around us about where the purple ring is. Are we
Yes.
good?
That's
Okay.
what I was trying to
Great.
get. I was
Yeah.
just trying to get that across. Yeah.
The purple
Yeah,
ring
yeah.
is, well, purple square is sufficient to say that's how far.
That's true.
Align
Should we
yourself
cast the fire?
where you are
Those dots.
laying and sleeping and such.
Just say. Those
Oh,
dots
it's
were
the
clamping
side.
torches.
That car is super small.
Yeah, well, the horse is super fucking large, so.
He's Chonk Boy. I'm naming him Chonk Boy.
I'm gonna send that to the back. So you're actually sleeping on the cart, not under it.
Then just put my bedroll out next to it.
Okay.
I guess Juliet would probably sleep somewhere around the cart somewhere.
Yeah,
She'll
I'll
sleep
be like
next to you, and the horse will sleep next to her.
I'll
Little
do the
ass.
first watch, and I'll be kind of right. Actually, I'll be right off the cart, just sitting next to the fire.
Okay. Because I'm assuming you did make a fire for this, or at least a torch.
Yeah, I have a fire.
I mean, you'd need some form
Well,
of heat.
So, Viking,
I
those gray dots are where I planted torches.
Oh, okay. Those are really small,
Well,
but
those
okay.
are. Those have lines.
That's literally the largest I can get them to be.
Really? So I think some of them bugged on our side because it's just like tiny lines.
Okay.
Is that a quasi dick in the middle?
I
There we
probably
go.
have the cart.
Outright? Oh no, wait.
Or
There's
speed
ones.
Also in the center.
Yeah.
So here.
Let's move the horse here, and then we'll be good. I don't want the donkey to get killed.
Donkey won't leave Juliet's side.
He will always be
Yeah, I
within.
think we
Move
should probably.
Juliet there, man.
And Juliet
Yeah.
will sleep.
I'll-
And I'll be
I'll
like, come
move.
here.
Yeah, keep up with them close.
The donkey will always be within 5 feet of Juliet. Right. So who's taking first watch?
I will.
Okay. Roll perception for me. Anyone else staying up with him, or?
How many people we got? 2, 4, 6. We may as well do it in 2 groups of 2
Yeah,
watch.
can do.
You want?
Alright,
Do
I'll
you
stay up.
want to do it with me?
Because then we
I'll stay
do free watchers. Worth
Okay.
of-
So Bell and Logan, roll
So
perception
ellipse.
for me.
Oh, let's put this away.
Ellipsis.
So it's just Red who's
No, I'm-
rolling absolute piss tonight. Got ya.
Yep, that's for you.
Okay, so you both sort of sit up for the next couple of hours, just keeping your eyes peeled around you. It's a bit spooky being next to this camp, and you swear you hear movement from it. But when you look over, you can't see anything. It might just be your mind playing tricks on you.
Is it just me? Was that camp looks spooky as fuck right now?
No,
Well-
I agree. I think we should have stayed on that hill.
I was talking to the person who's awake with
Yeah,
me.
that would be Logan.
Okay,
That would be me. that would be Logan.
Wait, who's Logan?
Cybran!
Oh.
Hybrid! Oh,
Sorry, I
hi.
don't know the names because it's in roll 20. It's not fucking.
Do
Okay,
you not see the
sorry.
name?
It has. I was gonna say.
No,
it
I thought
has-
it was literally ellipsis because, but I didn't know who's like.
Button. Look at the bottom of the screen. You see where it has everyone's portraits and everyone's names? Match up my
Yours is.
portrait- Match up my portrait with Logan.
I'm not used to that. Okay, fine. Yeah. All right. Yeah, no, it's fucking weird.
I don't have silver. This is bad.
What do you think? Werewolves are coming after you?
Will it be a
Silver works
myth.
against ghosts.
That's fair, I
would
suppose.
that be like that's a myth? Never really heard much about that. Never really I mean,
My line of work, myths turn out to be true.
mine the myths. There's some
You don't
myths,
get out a
but,
whole lot, do you?
No, but I have read. Well, I have. I've gone on I've gone places. I've travelled a bit, but I mean, to be honest, I haven't travelled to an island like this. I also haven't.
Oh no, this island shit. It's a bad experience for islands. They're usually better. They usually have a lot more alcohol, a lot more women, better
Oh,
rocks, I
right.
guess. It's
okay.
Is this your first island?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, yeah. Now I'm used to the Empire. I think I've read a book or two, heard about some ghost stories.
Cybran, by the way, what's your intelligence?
Modifier or
Total.
11.
Okay, yeah. So Logan just thinks that the continent is just one really big island. So it counts.
I mean, it kind of is when you think about it.
Yeah.
Wait. He's the average thinking. He's above average.
He's above average.
Yeah. What? Wait.
No, No,
It's
since the
not
modifier is 0, it's still average.
Yeah, that's
so
average.
it's average.
Yeah, he has common
No.
knowledge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he
just
was.
that
Common knowledge at this
you have,
island.
Bellin, you've also got to bear in mind a fair chunk of the world currently thinks the planet is flat.
Of
But
our
those are people
current
with like
world.
-1, -2 intelligence. Come on.
I would say they have
No,
negative
no,
4
no,
at
it's,
least.
You know,
Okay.
I
So basically
so
9 to
I
9.
met a guy in the Navy. His entire job was navigating the around the world. You know, making sure the ship gets where it's supposed to go. And he swore blind that the world was flat. To this day, I'm still not sure if he was fucking with me or not.
Well, I mean, to him, the world is flat because he works with a flat map. So,
No, he doesn't just work with the flat map. He works with GPS and the fucking stars.
that's good if you can see that. Oh, no.
Why does he? Yeah, why does he use the stars with all the modern technology?
No, I was
Because
going to
it's
say,
still-
why,
it's
why
still
does
a
he use-
requirement for
Yeah,
navigating.
I was
Still
I was
requirement
thinking,
to
why does he
communicate.
use the stars if he's on a fucking submarine?
No,
I
that's
just realised
Darman.
No,
I
I'm
should-
not.
yeah,
Farming.
yeah.
I was upstairs.
I added submarine like on of my own accord there. I was like, that's
It
weird.
doesn't make a lot of sense.
Darman and I had very similar jobs, but he
Different
was-
class
yeah,
of
yeah.
ship. But yeah, aside from
No, I know.
the
So- When
oh, go on, Benel.
I was
Benno?
just gonna say,
Fucking brain's not functioning right. Give me a minute.
Bruno.
Benadryl?
Benadryl?
Is that you?
Ah, shit! They know I've been following them. Run!
Oh, you know what threw me? You know what threw me off earlier? It was that you called me Belhun and you called him Logan.
Yeah, getting everyone's names
That's what threw
down
me
in
off.
game is.
It's understandable. It was just like that's what threw me off because I was okay. Okay. Yeah. No. So. I'll be honest. You know, I've gone out a few times, but I spend all my time, you know, with my books and long periods of time.
Nerd.
Oh
Fuck
God,
you,
it's
Colt.
sure vocal.
I'm just
But,
gonna nod sagely. You need to get laid.
I've getting laid plenty of times.
Once.
Name once.
Plenty of time. Don't worry about it. If it's not the money, it's usually
All those
something else
big,
that they
strong
want.
dwarven women love really meek dwarven men, don't
Oh
they?
hell yes.
If you don't get along with the
I'm
other
bored.
races, then you're being bored. So not just dwarven women. What are you like?
Nothing. Carry on.
Hey, you better shut the fuck up.
God.
I'm sorry. You telling God to shut the fuck up?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, God!
Just
Uh,
angrily shaking
you guys
fist
played
at the
the- Have you played the Simpsons game?
Yes.
sky. Yeah.
Just that. But yeah, as you discuss and chat, your couple of hours pass quite easily. Aside from the creepy camp, you think you might hear some rustling from the forest, but not much. Probably small animals, squirrels, stuff like that. And your watch passes uneventfully. Who's next?
I'll do it.
Okay. Who will be your partner?
I'll take Juliet if nobody else is going to get up.
She's not going to be happy, but okay.
I mean, there's 6 of us. She has to partake.
Passing round the peace pipe, are we?
She doesn't have a choice.
Okay, so Belhan, you and
Alright, I'll
Cybran
keep those torches.
can get your rest, and Ellipsis and Juliet get up. Juliet really doesn't want to, but she does anyway.
You're with this party. You pull your own way.
I think she's pulling more than
I was
enough
gonna
weight.
say,
So she's the only
yeah,
one here
she-
who can fucking draw.
I was trying.
Shut up, voices in my head.
Yeah, I like to think
Why not
that.
him?
I like to think
Yeah.
Ellipsis is just a schizophrenic.
He
None
is
of
pretty-
you
he's pretty
exist. He's just schizophrenic.
What? No, voice. Oh, I'm right next to you.
Shut up, Logan. Voice, disseminated body.
Okay, so make a perception roll for me, and I'll make one for Juliet. Well, that's a 19 with a +1 modifier. That's a 20.
That's a 19 for me.
That's a 20 for her. So as
Yeah, not quite good.
the others have settled down to sleep, and it's just you and Juliet, she seems a bit freaked out by the camp. You admit to yourself that, yeah, it kind of does creep you out a little bit. It's very spooky.
Yeah, it does creep me out a bit. Thanks God for telling me how I
Shut the
feel.
fuck up. You're a dick and you should feel bad.
I mean, yes.
You both sort of agree that, yeah, it's a bit creepy. Nothing really is going on with it. The wind is sort of blowing relatively calmly, but occasionally you hear rustling coming from it, and it's just like, oh, what's that? Nothing really happens until coming towards the end of your watch, when
My ears perk up.
they would, and everyone else would sort of very slowly start to awaken, unless you're a heavy sleeper. As there would be sort of coming towards the camp
Which direction?
from the forest direction, so west, south.
Oh.
Even. Yeah,
Sorry, was it you blowing your nose or footsteps?
footsteps stomping.
stomping? Okay.
Honestly, I'm
I
not
was
sure.
thinking, oh my god, there's a giant nose.
Look out, guys! He's got a fucking nose. Coming towards the camp, and Musket, you and Juliet spot it first. The others are sort of groggily coming around, as you see coming through the trees, rather sluggishly, an ogre.
Hey guys, what's the population of giants on this island that we know of?
Just that one orc.
Oh,
What, sick?
do you
Yeah,
think she has a husband who's like 10, like a good 10 feet tall?
I mean, she was hitting on Josiah, so probably not.
What's that noise?
Because I think I found the tallest person on the island. I'm knocking down and making Guinness World Records. Also, get up, it's coming towards the camp.
What's going on, Cat King? Oh no!
Josiah's still snoring.
Okay.
Excellent.
Roll a Constitution check to stay asleep.
Oh no, it's just,
I'm gonna plant a kick in Josiah's ribs.
What, you're gonna climb on the cart and kick him?
just boot me out of it.
Wake up. Yeah, pretty much.
Let's just roll the cart at the fucking giant. See if he eats him. If he eats him, he's not friendly. If he doesn't, he's friendly.
All right then.
I go to roll it down the
So
hill.
the giant, the ogre,
How close is he?
he
It's
comes
actually
to
very close.
about here.
Oh, pretty fucking close. Okay, if
And
I knew he was that close, I'd be a
stop.
bit more alarmed.
He stops just before the wire and the torches.
Excellent. I'm going to walk forward and go, be fearful of our fire. And tiny wires.
Oi, wake up. Kick.
Ah!
How does it respond?
Up and out of action station, mister. Action
Mm,
station.
mm, mm.
That's-
He looks at you and tilts his head to the side slightly, and takes a step forward to being just in front of the wire.
I point down at the wire. Ah, do not trespass the glorious wire of which you are standing near. The consequences can be grave. And this time I'm going to say it in Elvish instead of common.
Okay, he looks at you while you're speaking Elvish at him, and just scratches his head and just goes, "The fuck's he saying?"
And I'm going to reply in Dwarvish. I see you know the common tongue, but you should not touch the wire, for our god resides here.
Is
Pansy speak.
he scratches his head again. Is he fucking special?
I go to
Very
give
much
him a
so.
hug.
Yeah, sorry. What? Can we help you?
I'll be honest. I was kind of hoping for some food.
Oh.
I haven't eaten much in a long
I raise my hand.
Kai gets up. He's like, give me a second. Kai's like, how big is he?
He's about 11 foot tall.
How big is it? How big is his mouth?
Probably gnome
like,
size.
Okay, so I grab enough. Yeah, I grab some bread, enough to, maybe be the same size as Josiah. And you kind of see as I'm grabbing bread, and I look at Josiah, and I'm like, and I look down and
That's
up
gonna
and down and
be
up. It's
like
The dude.
3 days of your bread supply.
The dude. That's a lot of
Yeah,
I'll
no.
I'll give
no.
him 2. We have
2 days worth.
We have a fuck ton.
You
don't we?
still
They-
do
they
have like
loaded us
6.5
up.
days worth of bread supply, not to mention the rations that you have.
I don't care. That's my bread. That's our bread.
We're grabbing
Either he
nice.
eats the bread or he eats us.
I choose
Oh,
the art.
he's not gonna eat us. He's being nice, guy.
Or we can offer him the ass.
Just,
Go offer your arm.
Yeah, I don't need my arm.
what?
Go for it then.
All right, then I'll rip up my arm.
Roll strength.
Okay.
What? What?
So you pull on your arm to try and rip it off, and it suddenly all your fingers go limp. You feel this very excruciating pain coming from your shoulder, and you can no longer move your arm as you've just dislocated it.
Somebody finish it off. I can't feel it anymore.
No,
I
we're not
think
taking
it's
your arm off. You
awesome.
fucking dummy. No, okay.
What's that?
I go-
What, are we maiming ellipsis? I'm down for this.
No,
Just
we're
like,
not.
pull my arm. Hey,
I
hey,
grab
hey,
about a
hey,
day
Uzziah,
and a
pull my
half's
arm.
worth of food for us, and I bring it to him because I want to fucking be nice.
Well, I fucking dislocate my arm now.
You'll have to fix it, won't you?
And
Just
and
gonna
I'll-
sort
I'll
of
come-
sidle over to Logan and go, do you reckon he eats bird?
Mate,
How
oh,
did I- nat one?
oh.
How did I
I'm sure chicken is
my
delicious
arm?
but right
The
now.
fucking nat one.
Because
Yeah,
you're
I
a
give
div,
him
that's
about-
why.
Because if you told me to
I get
pull the
together
nat one,
about
I
a
wouldn't
day's
pull it
worth
off.
of food,
So,
and I come over.
okay, as you're doing that, Josiah, you realize quite quickly there is now an angry-looking Kenku girl standing about 5 feet from you with a knife.
Wow.
I think she heard you, Mr. Willock.
Juliet, put the knife down.
You can't
What?
see
I
this.
mean, I know. Listen, right.
I mean,
look, what?
I
I'm
would
not
be
gonna
looking around.
listen. Right, it's an ogre. They eat my kind of person as well. Right. I'm just trying to make sure that everyone present
God.
doesn't get fucking at.
That was-
Here you go.
Then take the bread.
She walks off and puts the knife away.
Towards the
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I bring over about a day and a half worth of food.
Okay, as you bring over a day and a half, someone mark that down that you now only have 5 days worth of bread.
I mean, were we keeping track of how much bread we
You
were?
probably should.
I don't know.
I
We
did
had
have
a
that bread.
week when we got it. We had a week's
Yeah,
worth
we
of
had a
bread.
week away, so we lost a day,
Yeah.
so we're down to 6. We're down to another day. We've
Yeah.
got 5 days
Yeah.
left,
About 5 days.
Okay.
and including rations that we have individually.
Yeah.
And then we've got. Sorry, I meant then we've got rations on top.
And then you need to definitely return to town or find some more food.
Or find someone that knows Goodberry. That would be good.
I'm gonna limit
Um,
that if you fucking do. 'Cause that's a bullshit
I-
spell
I-
and you know it.
Yeah, true.
And I give him the food.
As you do this, he kneels down. So he's still about a good 3 feet taller than you.
Yeah.
But he's knelt down to your size and he just offers out his hand as you put it in. And he just goes, "Thank you, tiny ogre."
Oh, no problem. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Hope it helps if you. How long have you been out here?
Since spawn.
Oh, right. Okay. Is there anything we should be worried about? We're new to this area.
Reindeer
Climb
fast,
back in the car.
not easy to catch.
Oh, right, right.
Wait, reindeer.
Maybe,
Don't question
maybe,
it.
don't know.
Okay. All right.
Do you have a village?
Is there anywhere we can find you? If we get more food, we might be able to help. You can help us in turn.
My name Trunk.
Chunk. Good to meet you. My
Trunk.
name is Belhun.
Oh, trunk.
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 No, is your
Friends.
name Belhan? I thought your name was Vonrin.
Oh, Vonrin. Wow.
You think I'm a psychopath?
My name is
Vonrin's just a
Vonrin.
sociopath. There's a difference.
He has split personality disorder.
Please meet you.
Yes. It was,
I'm going
very
back to
nice.
sleep.
All right. I give him the food. Be like, well, no, actually, do I have it? Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, I'm waiting for one of his mates to come and like bum rush us from the side and nick the donkey.
Make a perception check if that's what you're afraid of.
I'm slightly concerned. This is a setup.
All right, go for a perception check then.
It's a pretty good perception check. If I could.
How set up are we?
Hang on, why do I have a +1 -1 strength? What?
Rurik is still like fucking. His eyes are clogged up with fucking sleepies.
Hang on.
He cannot see shit.
Why am I
right
getting +1 -1 strength? What?
now. What the shit?
What?
Oh, do you have a -1 because it's a dump stat?
Yeah, I have a
Not
-1 because it's a dump
sure
stat. Why do I have a +1 on it?
Proficiency, maybe?
No, proficiency doesn't.
No.
Did you hit saving throw rather than
effect-
strength check?
No. It's definitely strength because my saving throw anyway is -1.
No,
Anyway.
we'll investigate
The
that.
effects.
Rurik is still mostly asleep. He's barely conscious. Josiah, you see
Huh.
completely clear surroundings all the way around you, even into the trees a little way. The camp is still being creepy as shit, but aside from that, nothing really out of the ordinary.
Tell me, Mr. Tunk, do you know what happened over there? I ask us, pointing towards the creepy camp.
The creepy camp.
Let me just check to see how long ogres live.
Sometime between 50 to 100 years ago, that camp was abandoned, possibly eaten by him and his friends.
I mean, he hasn't tried to eat us
Ooh.
yet. He's eating pretty
We're
shitty bread.
We're small ones of him. So
It doesn't really say, but he sort of looks over and goes, "Don't know. Been like that, long time."
okay. I recommend just so you know, don't
75 years.
I would never go that way. And as I point towards
Hello, Red.
where we are,
Out of character. Ogres live very short lives. Very few ever reach 30.
Yeah, sort of
And
their
well,
normal
they reach
lifespan.
maturity within 6
Yeah, their
years.
normal lifespan hasn't been
really-
calculated.
What?
It just sort of said
Mine
about
is
30.
75.
so
Depends on which group or universe.
That was
World?
Pathfinder, I
World.
think, wasn't it?
I looked up
All right.
90 for the 30.
so I just
I
want to
got
say,
75, but okay.
Also
just
didn't extend.
say,
Yeah.
just so you know, it's not safe to go that way. We came from that way. There's some probably not friendly things over there. If you do run across people that look like us, I would go the other way normally. If you see us, just say hi. All right.
Say hi, and then we could probably bring him back into town with us. They'll probably accept
Well-
him if we vouch for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty strong, could work for food, improve the town.
Yeah, can always use a nice strong labor.
No,
Well,
no
actually,
leave
yeah.
for us. No. And he's sort of shaking his head.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want more food, find us. If you see us around again, and We can bring you out of the forest and to help with you could you could earn food. Do you know earn?
What earn?
Earn is you pick up heavy things and move, and you get food. Earn. You earn food.
Trunk think about that.
Okay, okay. You think about that. We'll yeah. See us again. We'll let us know what you think. We can help you out there. All right.
If you go that way, and he points down south the way that he came, watch for swamp men.
Swamp man.
Swamp
He
man.
sort of nods.
Okay.
Yes,
does
yes, you
swamp
are.
man do anything? Does
They try to go north. That way. And he points towards the way you came north. But Trunk stopped them.
Oh, do they not like you, Trunk?
Trunk no let swamp men in forest.
Oh, thank you, Trunk. That is good, Trunk.
Trunk feel good. And he sort of starts eating the bread.
Alright. I wait, do I have anything that could be cool? Part of me's like, what if I give him a sword?
He's got a big fucking club. He doesn't need a sword.
Imagine a bigger sword though. I'm joking. Alright, now. I'm gonna be like, okay, well, we were sleeping. We're gonna go back to sleep, alright, Trunk?
Okay. Trunk let you through forest.
Thank you, Trunk.
Thank you, tiny ogre Vonrin.
Ah, thank you, big Trunk Orger.
And with that, he sort of starts walking back in towards the forest, and you feel the die back down, and the ground stops rumbling.
Well, that was a
Joy
nice
and
touch.
nose gone.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been hiding behind there all this time. I zoned out for a
Oh
while.
yeah, I forgot.
I zoned out for quite a while. Oh yeah, the ass would have followed you. Yeah.
Man, it's a good thing he doesn't have a taste for blood, huh?
I mean,
It's good.
typically
He
they
seemed
eat
like
meat, but I
well,
suppose
I mean,
some bread for a while wouldn't hurt. I suppose if you're, pushed, you take what you get.
well, yeah, I mean,
Right, I'm turning it.
in
With
my
it-
in some
Make it
studies,
expert, see?
the more if they have a bit of intelligence, you can reason with them, and if they aren't inherently, in some cases, very threatening, well, yeah, don't see a reason why you can't.
Hey, did anybody ask him if he has a village or anything?
You didn't.
He didn't answer when we asked that. Though from the sounds of it, he didn't make any reference to any group people.
That's
Others.
true.
I live with the force carries.
True, but I suppose in the other sense,
So-
he doesn't know who we are, so he probably wouldn't. I mean, he's got the intelligence to talk to us, so I don't know.
Though the thing that he did say, is there a swamp man
Swamp
that
man,
he
yes.
stops? That's worrisome. So we gotta keep an eye out for a swamp man.
Swamp men.
Wherever
Plural.
the fuck that is. Swamp men. Oh. Oh. Maybe that means there's a group out there. We'll see. We'll see, I guess, when we go.
Could be a coven of hags.
That's true.
What?
Coven of Hag.
You're gonna need Hagsbane to kill him.
Fresh out of Bitcoin.
All right,
Fresh.
I go. Let's
Nope.
just get back to sleep. I'm
Yeah.
Donkey, move Juliet.
Ugh.
Move Juliet.
Well, that was towards the end of our watch, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was about the. He was starting coming
much,
over
yeah.
about 10, 15 minutes ish before the end of your watch, and so you
Yeah.
would have passed over to the next two people, which would be Josiah and Rurik.
Mhm.
And Red is eating.
Right, well, I'll just we'll set up. Just keep it.
Okay, make a perception check. Red, are you able to make a perception check? I'm gonna go with no. So I will roll Red's perception check. That was a natural one. He's barely conscious. But the sun is slowly starting to come up now. It's probably approaching 4:30 in the morning or so. So you can see a little bit further into the trees and down the road and that. The as for everyone, the camp to your near the road is creepy as shit, but nothing really giving it away as what is creepy as shit. It's just kind of creepy. But yeah, your watch has come to an end pretty much uneventfully, aside from Trunk. And the night has passed, and you're free to continue your day.
All right.
Well, creepy place looks creepy, but it's not creepy. Excellent.
Huh.
To be fair, I prefer that than some ghosts or, avatars of death rising up the ground and trying to kill us.
That's fair. That's fair.
Mish, I go ahead and write in the notes. Tell people, to in my notes to tell the town about the org and how he is friendly.
Ogre.
And ogre, org. I said org, not even org. I didn't add the K to it. I just said org.
Org is ogre without the E.
Orc,
Yeah.
orcs.
Org. All right.
Yeah, do you want to talk in the morning? Split out rations, anything like that?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I
Oh, I'm gonna
so,
collect my torches.
Yep.
Yeah, you won't do that.
those are probably
You
burnt.
collect your string.
Well, the strings not even. It's, yeah.
Okay.
It's you use the string as like a placement. The idea of how I imagine alarm is like you use this string, and that's why the magic hand is like you stretch it to 20 feet, and then you cast the spell along the string, and then the kind of magical effect goes over the string, and then when you get rid of the string, that kind of fades a little bit, but it's like just barely seeable.
Ah, right.
It's like an actual like kind of area around. It's like the thought at least around it. But yeah, so all right. What's the ideas for today, guys?
Into the forest.
Yeah,
All right.
continue. Right, might as well carry on, Seth.
All right.
Carry on, Seth. Keep
I
mapping on the way.
wonder, do you think do you think he's ever seen the town, or the town has ever seen him at all? Anybody?
I
What?
don't know. If
No,
I'm
I don't think
brutally-
they
I
will.
mean, you're a
If I'm
good
brutally
hour and a
honest, I
half
think
beyond
that's-
where the dirt roads ended.
Well, I mean, what I'm presuming more is the town hasn't gone very far, so I assume they wouldn't. But I'm sure he must have gone further than here before.
For a bunch of settlers
How
that, like,
attached he is to that forest.
if you're going out to like a frontier town, surely you
Yeah,
should
not
have some
very
sort of
good
enterprising
frontier,
spirit, right?
Yeah, they're not very good frontiermen. I gotta
You
admit.
sort of turned up and went, "Hey, right, that's us."
Yeah, the
this out.
frontierman
We've got
spirit
12 kilometers.
kind of
down.
ended when the third ship didn't arrive.
Well, there could have been a fucking dock on the other side of the bloody island. They'd never know.
That's their fault.
Yeah, that is their fault. That's not blaming them for. I'm saying, but it's just saying they're pretty shit
Good.
frontiermen.
You
What I miss?
missed your watch. You rolled a natural one, barely conscious.
Of
But
course.
you all did get a long
Thank-
rest, so.
Even when I'm not rolling, I'm rolling.
Yeah, I
shittily.
rolled it and I rolled a fucking natural one. That would be what, your fourth one of the night?
Oh my.
You're doing well tonight, Red. You're doing well.
Yeah, you gotta get them all out right now, right?
Next week I'll be rolling total garbage.
Oh no, that's 4.
Yeah, as you pack up your camp, you can all agree that the construction camp is still creepy as shit.
I think we should burn this camp down.
There's not much left of it to burn.
No.
It's already.
No,
And
no.
get rid of the
why?
creepy factor. It's it's haunted. It's obviously haunted.
We didn't run across anything. We're fine. Don't.
Because we didn't
Let's
stay
just-
inside it for the. I'm telling you, it is haunted.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Alright, let's
whether or
just
not it
go.
is or isn't haunted, we'll somebody else figure that out later.
Not our
Exactly,
problem.
that's an- yeah,
Basically.
not
The
our
path
problem.
might at least get more time heading back home. Home? God no, Yaren.
Right, so you are continuing down the path, or are you heading back to Yeren?
I say we keep going.
We may as well keep
We
going.
go. We should go. Probably. So with when I was carrying up the food last night, we should have about 5 days. whoever
Yeah,
was keeping
you have
track,
5 days
right?
of food.
So we could.
From the bread, at least.
We'll be able to at least. We'll be able to go for another 2 days.
You won't be able to shit
Um,
for a week, but
What?
Worse.
bread clogs you up,
Fiber.
especially eating nothing but bread.
Yeah, true. I mean, we could find some berries and stuff along the way.
Do any
Right.
of you have high enough nature check to tell whether or not they're poison?
I mean, I've got like
Nature
+5.
survival.
Actually,
yeah, it would be more survival, I suppose.
It would be more survival.
either
Yeah,
or.
either or, honestly.
I know my way around.
You're in an open fucking field.
I'm searching for offers.
Yeah, but we're going
Yeah,
into
we have a forest.
Okay, so you're going into the forest.
searching for some food.
Yeah, let's keep heading
and
south.
just kind of
As-
carrying on through
As you
scouting.
keep heading south, you travel about 2 hours or so, marking as you go the forest that you can see, until you come to a crossroads.
There's a very small portion of forest we didn't actually discover up by that part. Oh, it was gone.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, a road.
Road.
Oh, it's a fork in the road. Right. Well,
Which way did you say?
Half the party goes that way, half the party goes this way.
Don't you know
Yeah,
you
no,
never
no.
split the party?
right. If we're gonna, do we?
Which way did you say the swamp was? I vote we don't go that way.
He said south.
South or
He said no. He said south.
Yeah, but that
didn't he?
was up here.
How about we go to the east so that way we can figure out where the shoreline is?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
sticking
I'd
at
say
the
that.
shoreline, they might be able to sail something along the shoreline. too.
Yeah, we can see. Yeah, because the sort of like the whole weather system bollocks is up by Yarn, isn't it? So we might as well head east to see if we can find a coast.
So you're all heading east, following the fork in.
Yeah.
Okay.
We get to the fork in
Yeah.
the road. Turn left.
Right. So you get to the fork.
Turn to page 482.
you
Choose
you realize quite quickly that there is the remnants of a signpost at this crossroads. Before you could just see it at the distance, but as you got closer, you realize there's at least half of like a wooden stake left in the ground that's rotted half away.
vampire there,
see this is a vampire.
Yeah, it's just, yeah,
Yeah,
we both went to the
you
same
see a
way.
dead vampire laying on the stake through his heart. No,
We fucking called it.
he just
We called
committed suicide and fell on the stake.
it. Loneliness.
I like tripped and fell on a boat. and it
Oh,
drove
life
itself
is
in
so
my gut.
depressing.
There is remnants of what
Oh.
probably was a signpost at one point, but it's just
What if it's just
a
a-
rotted stake in the ground at this point.
Man, at least there's some meat.
So you're all heading off in
No,
this
vampire.
direction.
I can't tell you which direction because you moved it before I was able to see. Okay.
Oi, a lake or an ocean. You can't smell the
You,
air.
you,
Yeah, is that an ocean
You
down
can
there? Is that an ocean
smell-
below? Because I feel like we'd be able to
you
see.
can smell the salt air now that you've gotten into the clearing beyond the trees.
I feel
We're
like
on
we'd
a
be able
fucking
to.
island.
Would
That's
would be
like,
able to see further down into the ocean if it's an ocean. I feel like yeah, a bit further, unless there's land mass in the way.
As
Which I'm gonna guess there's land mass because I see land mass.
you can sort of see. Oh,
I mean, if
that
we could
far.
see up to like 30 kilometers, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles, unless there's land mass or blockage in the way.
Well, it's early morning, so there might still be heavy mist in the
True,
water.
yeah, it could still be. Could be blinded by the sun, which isn't the way we're facing.
blinded by the light,
Sun.
wrapped up like a.
Yeah, what's the rest of the coast in this area look like? If you,
So you want to look up and down the coast?
Why is
yeah,
that
kind of
coast
look in the area.
look black?
It's how the line is drawn.
It's probably best not to ask. Why? I mean, you're asking where the coast
there's
looks black.
smoke
I'm
or,
concerned about this fucker.
True. He
So-
does makes me on edge.
There is a 54-kilometer long sea serpent that you could see in the distance.
Right, we can see that bugger. Why are you worried about if that
Hello,
coastline's black?
Jim.
What in the hell is that? from you?
Hello, Jim.
Hello, Jordan.
Right, listen,
Good day to
listen.
swim.
I'm sorry, Mr. Tallstag, that isn't Jim.
So looking down the coast, you
So,
can sort of see
Jim was a hell of a lot smaller
it's sort of like that.
and was also a halfling. That's not Jim.
You can see sort of that looking down up and down the coast if you go off the road to the sort of beachy area.
Question,
Hello.
Viking. Is there smoke coming from around here?
Not from around there.
Here?
You can't see. Because you can see just on the horizon black tips of potentially mountains.
More black.
just,
stuff.
just the tip.
Just the tip. But you're not certain what's there because it just falls beyond the horizon.
This is like playing Armor with your view distance sliders down to like.
Fuck off!
You're just like, I see the
It
edge of
is.
the enemy
Oh my
camp
god.
Yeah, there is just
Listen, hey, Viking,
video
that's,
game fog on.
That's how I play Armor.
There is
so-
just video game
I
fog.
really stole the Captain Eyeglass.
But yeah, that's about what you can see. You can also see now that, for the most part, this part of the map is water.
Well, Lance, we've successfully made it to the southern-ish part of the
Southern-ish.
It looks to me like there's still more road.
You're,
to
you're
follow.
south of
Yeah, like
Yaren.
I said,
Yeah, we should probably
southern-ish.
keep going east.
You are south of Yaren. Are you going to continue east?
I'd
Yeah, why
say
not?
so until we get to the coast.
Okay.
Hopefully it's leads
At
to
a
the coast.
coast. I'm going till the road ends.
So you travel for another few hours through a bit of forest. Sort of forests on either side. The road a little bit bumpy here and there due to lack of maintenance and such, but still mostly intact and that until you come to another opening.
Oh.
Okay.
I believe that's the swamp in front of us.
Mm.
Is that a little bit of poor rugby, mate?
Try again, Runic. You were cutting out.
Yeah.
I said, does it look like a swamp? I can't. There's a little bit of low resolution on my end.
Yeah, I
Give me a minute.
I think I know why. About there-ish.
Either that's very sparse woods or that's the swamp.
Just to say it, this guy's face, pretty accurate.
Does it? I was gonna say, does it look like this guy? Fuck, that's John Cleese.
Was that John Cleese? I don't think that's John Cleese.
Yes,
Is it?
yes, that's John Cleese.
Does it look like what?
Yeah, does it look like anything has been built in the middle of the swamp and then burnt down, or
It. Not that you can see. The road does continue sort of round this river to your north, or this lake to your north. But you can't see any buildings or anything in the area, or even in the swampy area.
Oh, let's continue getting around, I guess.
Okay.
Hmm.
Are you sure?
The ogre told us to watch out for the swamp, man. I think we should
We could
go
take
back
it a
the
bit
other way.
slower. And we can
Well, I
go
mean,
at a
let's
slow
keep it
pace.
on.
You're
Yeah,
going
we go slow.
walking
Yeah,
pace already.
Well, no, there's normal, there's slow, and there's fast. I assumed we were going normal.
You've got a donkey pulling a cart.
Yeah, then you can still go at a
You're
normal
going at
pace
a
with
normal
that.
pace, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, you go slow, which is a proper slow, watching out, looking around type of keeping on guard.
Okay, so you continue along. This takes about another 2.5 hours to make this sort of distance because you're going slower, more on guard, and that sort of tone. And you can sort of see off in the distance something. You're not certain. The swamp. There's a lot of swamp trees now. You can quite clearly see the swampy area that you're in, and there's maybe a tower in the distance. You're not sure.
Ooh, a tower. What? Is that?
It's still a
Hmm.
long way off.
No way. No way.
Oh, I don't like this. Skirting the edge of the swamp was bad enough.
All right, let's keep going. I see something out there. I
Fine,
want to see
you
what it
can
really
lead.
is.
You can lead it then.
He has got the most hit points.
I'm at the front of the cart, standing and kind of pointing forward this way.
Okay.
I'll take up the rear. You guys keep going.
We're all in the
Right,
cart.
No, you don't
I'll-
all fit in
I'll
the cart.
stand up. No,
The cart is a tiny piece of shit.
I even a little. I'll stand up and get just thing turns up so I can shoot it full of arrows.
Fair enough. So now you're riding in a chariot, a gnome chariot. You continue on the road again, about another hour or so. It's getting to about midday-ish by this point, 1 p.m. And the sky is quite dark over this area that you're heading towards. And as
Okay, now.
Wild
as
add magic at this place.
as you get closer, you start to see the potential remnants of a town.
Wait. Before... Oh no. If this wasn't giving you those creepy vibes, Logan, this will.
Mr. Vonneman, I believe you have walked us dead center into a trap.
You're about 5
Trap,
nailed
but-
blitz. It's gonna fuck up your shit.
God, they're rabbits.
I didn't realize my family was here.
So,
Can we turn around now?
are we gonna go in? I mean, we gotta explore this.
You can also sort of see the other
I'm more
side of the
curious
forest.
why-
now.
I'm more curious why they built a town in the middle of the swamp in the first place.
Well, maybe the swamp wasn't always there.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't.
Or
always
maybe,
swamp.
I don't know, the swamp
Or
people.
maybe they prefer living in the swamp.
Like the
Yeah.
swamp people we warned about.
Also,
That's why I
who
said we
the
should have turned around a while ago.
Also, who the hell would be living out here? This island's supposed to be, with the nobodies and shit.
Zombies, necromancers,
Points back to
Witches.
the ogre we just saw.
Does it
Filthy
look like a
Hey,
does it look like a ruined town, or does it look like a just? Does it look like it still does people still live in here, or does it just look like a derelict?
It looks like. Well, make a perception check for me.
I'll be helping with this.
Alright.
'Cause I wanna
Well, do you
help.
want to help me, or do you want to make one yourself?
I'm gonna help you. Kind of
Help.
just being.
Logan, you don't see Dick.
So, does,
I'm currently.
does that mean if Von Rin's assisting on mine, or do I just? roll?
I would say you both roll one.
Can I
Right.
take a look
Yep.
around as well?
Everyone just roll perception if you want.
Let's all have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, not terrible.
So, Logan, you have chills running down your spine. Something ain't right about this place.
Something ain't right in them there hills. They got
hills.
eyes. And...
Rurik, you and Vonrin can see these buildings. They look derelict, but they might be lived in. You don't know. Ellipsis, you and Josiah can see figures walking around.
Hmm.
Right. Well, that's definitely not uninhabited, right?
Yeah,
And
I'm
Oh,
seeing
let-
swamp people.
But
well, I mean, I don't know if it is swamp people or if it's just other folk. I'm we
Swamp
leave.
people.
I'm gonna go with leave.
I think we should take a look.
I think
We're
we
here
should
to explore.
know.
I
You've got a
mean, what
civilization.
we should do is we should bring the cart back a bit. You know,
Or go ahead on foot.
go on foot. Yeah.
You can do.
And
Take
we
it
can
slow and
pose as sailors from a crashed ship, or at least passengers from a crashed ship.
we are passengers from a
Ah,
crash
hey.
ship.
Literally, mine
Well,
and
yes,
Mr.
but I don't-
Dog's job.
But I mean, don't mention anything about Yaren.
Just
Just
that
in
we don't
case,
actually-
in case they end up being a bit less than friendly.
Mr. Gorin, that's a good plan, but they're gonna ask where the fuck the cart came from.
That's why we leave
That's
the
why
cart
we're
back.
leaving the
I'm
cart
pretty
behind.
sure they'll be able to see it if they look for it.
If they go looking for it, but we can put it back by the lake.
That's a long
It's
ass
a bit of a
walk.
walk, but
That's a very long way.
That's a good 10, 15 kilometers away.
this one
Yeah.
here. Okay. I mean, we could just hide it in the forest somewhere as well. Granted, the
what I
forest
was saying.
typically has things wandering about in it.
Right, then that brings the question: who guards the cart? We can't leave it on its own.
Juliet will
all
guard
I'm,
it.
all I'm gonna say,
Look, as much as I love the little lass, I don't think she'll be enough to protect it on her own.
wait, gentlemen, can I point this out? I know those right. I know I've seen figures up there as well, and you, Ellipsis, you said you saw something too.
Mm-hmm.
They're not moving like normal folk. There's a bit too much of the sort of lumbering kind of thing going on. You know when it's kicking out time at the pub, and you've got the couple that have had to be stood up and then pushed out the door, and there's sort of the shuffly lumber kind of thing going on.
Yeah,
Looks
I've
very-
experienced that walk on my own.
Yeah, right.
I missed that walk.
That's that town. They're all like that.
Well, if they're all
I'm-
walking around like that, then they might have alcohol.
He raises a fair point.
You-
I've got to go with him on this.
You
They might do.
bastard!
The other-
Doing that now. Fucking Logan has to go.
Logan,
there
forward.
might. Logan, look at me, right? All the buildings look like they've been on fire and burnt
No,
down.
I agree. But now that there's the option of alcohol being there, I'm torn.
Look at me. You're throwing it there.
Is it just
It's
me or
like-
is it cutting out for
He
others
is
as well?
gonna go, yeah.
I think he's a figment of our imagination. He doesn't actually exist.
You might want to just disconnect and come back, Rick, see if that helps.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
I can still hear him pretty well, but
Yeah,
Oh, I can hear him just fine, but occasionally he goes full on Domo Arigato. Mr. Roboto.
Hello.
That's better.
Right, sorry. Discord's been a bit funky recently. It keeps muting certain people and muffling them, even without the sound deafening thing.
It does that.
I think they're going the way of TeamSpeak.
God, I hope not.
Right, anyway. Yeah, no, look at me. Logan, you're a sailor. We're supposed to be superstitious bastards. I'm not setting foot in that town.
I'm not setting foot in that town either.
Just taking their alcohol.
You know, I
Beer.
actually.
Alright, hold on.
No,
If,
no,
if neither of you two want to set foot in the town, then that's fine. You can stay out here and guard the cart.
Yeah, there we go. We got people guarding the cart. Then I'll go to
I-
the town. I'll talk to them.
All right,
No, I'm
go for
going
it.
to talk to them.
But you can come with me.
You can try to talk.
Ellipsis.
What I'm listen to me,
y-
you
y-
pair of bastards. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. Those fuckers aren't regular people.
And
And
they can be just as sensible as a normal person.
All right, no, go for
zombies.
it then. Don't worry, Mr. Tallstack. They know best. They can wander off and be amenable to whoever the fuck they want. I'm gonna sit here with it.
I suppose that's the learned types for it. They always know better.
Oh, I'm not saying I know better. I'm just saying it's possible.
Aren't you? I mean, it sounds like you're saying you know better. You
I've
couldn't
seen
eat shit.
stranger
I'm
things
telling
in my
you.
life.
Have you?
Name
Right. Well, I
one.
and you just told me it's pointless. So well, that's fine. I'll stay here. You can carry on and get yourself stabbed.
Vonrin sits down and starts casting a spell.
what spell are you casting,
mean-
Vonrin?
I'm ritual
hold on.
casting Find Familiar because I've had two sets of the agreements forever, and I've yet to remember to do it.
Fair enough.
So
I
I am currently just casting like a spell, kind of sitting on the floor, kind of reading off of a book as I kind of say magic, like words of arcane. As I'm just like, give me a second. Oh, it's a map.
But yeah. Yes, for one example, have you ever been to the Wastes of Salandria? One of the kings, or nobles rather, there, if you can call them that, has skeletal servants throughout his entire castle. It's fascinating.
What the fuck is that?
That is a fucking long
it's-
description for that.
Oh, it's just Find Familiar. Okay.
This is,
Yeah, Find Familiar.
Oh, it's an hour. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we spent an hour sat there.
And yes, because I had to scroll up a decent amount because I didn't think to look in the pinned messages, and it isn't even pinned, Viking.
Oh.
Map of the world.
Ah, yes.
Just gonna repost
d-
that.
Before I start casting spell, I'll be like, do you mind before we go into the town, we wait an hour?
What?
Right, as long as you want, I'm staying by this cart.
Just, I would think it'd be a good idea if we had something that could scout in front of us. And I keep forgetting to cast the spell. I've had it in my book forever, and I used to have an assistant back in the day, a little
in that
animal that would help me out. You've heard Find Familiar, the spells known for by blah 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 blah. That mage created all that shit.
Oh yes, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I ended up finding a copy of
Ferrets
it.
in particular
Okay.
tend to be very useful, surprisingly so.
Oh, aren't they so cute? Have you came across ferrets? They're just
God.
amazing. Anyway,
Damn it.
Why do you think I mentioned it, Viking?
If we wait an hour, I can get one, and we can go ahead and have something that will go ahead in front of us and help us out. Or we can I can get a raven that could help us out too.
Thank you.
Just
Uh-huh.
a few ideas. If we're willing to wait.
That's entirely up to the three people who are going in there.
Apparently, I am a
No.
pack of rambunctious puppies.
Wait, are we
So-
still trying to decide who goes in and who doesn't?
No,
No,
we're-
I'm
we're-
going in.
I'm going in. Do
I'm
I'm going in.
I'm not
Ellipsis
going
is going
in.
in.
Fuck
You
that
can't.
noise.
You can't stop me.
All right. So let's just
Yeah, three
give
of
me
us are
an
going in.
hour.
Three of us are staying here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna if you guys are.
You
cool
seem to
with,
think that
cool with
Juliet
us waiting.
wants to stay there.
Right, no,
Yeah.
I'll
Part of the
stay here.
cart. Part of the crew.
Listen, this is about like look. I have. You don't.
I mean, I'm
understand,
leaving
I
that
have a
up to you two to convince her.
No one
Say.
has asked
have-
Juliet what she wants.
She doesn't
Nope.
get an opinion.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna kneel face high with her. Little ass, what do you want to do?
You
You wanna
just
stay here
call
where
her
it's
little
safe?
ass.
Lass.
Oh.
Stay here where it's safe, or do you want to follow those three idiots, into certain danger?
Ass hat.
Hey,
2 idiots and an ass hat.
important distinction. That
I'm more,
Thank you.
I-
She points towards the town.
Excellent, in agreement. Juliet, come here. Let's go to the town.
Right, I'm gonna unhitch the
Or
donkey
just-
from the cart.
Before she
Just give us an
walks
hour.
off, she sort of. You're not entirely sure what she does, but she taps the donkey on the head gently. And it sits down.
What magic is this?
I still unhitched the donkey from the
Write that
cart.
down. Write that down.
Write it down, tap donkey on head. Tap,
Make a
it-
note, make a note! Tap the donkey on the head and it sits!
tap it under the head. What does it do?
Fucking kicks you in the bollocks.
Okay, so you guys are cool waiting around with him?
I'm fine. It's fine.
That'll
with
be
me.
about 1:30, 2 p.m. by the time you finish casting.
Oh yeah, I'm fine right there.
I sit down and I cast Find Familiar. And I'm going to make a
And I quickly run off while he isn't trapped in casting. No.
Okay, so you sit down with your spell book in your legs and you start to cast Find Familiar. After the hour has passed, hour and fucking that would be like an hour and 11 minutes.
No, just be.
Would it just be an hour?
It's not a ritual.
yeah.
It's not a ritual. It's just a spell that takes an hour to
All
cast.
right, okay.
Well, it would be cast hour, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
casting.
once it's cast, your familiar appears. What is thine familiar?
Thy familiar. I'm going between.
Well, you have to have this in mind before you cast the spell, Belhan. God.
I know. D&D,
Familiars.
5e.
There's
Oh
a
my God,
list
okay.
of them.
Your choices are bat, cat, crab,
I know what they
toad,
are.
hawk,
I'm not.
lizard,
I can see the spell.
owl.
It,
All right, then choose.
I was trying to figure out which one would. I can't-
Probably the hawk would be better.
Hawk.
Hawk or
Nah,
raven or owl.
I was going to. I was trying to figure out which one I should go between Hawk, Raven, and I was like, go Hawk or go Raven.
They're
The
about
raven, is it-
equal, honestly.
I think the difference of the Raven is it. Oh no, I might be mixing that with Pathfinder. It might be able to learn a language.
The raven can probably mimic, yes. Probably. I'm not certain. We'd have to look that one up.
I don't think it can. I think it's just a different health stat and a.
No,
attack
it does
stat.
mimicry.
Oh, does
The
it?
Raven
Oh,
can
there we
mimic
go.
simple sounds it has heard, such as a person whispering, a baby crying, or an animal chittering.
Okay.
A creature that hears the sound can tell that yeah. I'm gonna go with Hawk.
Okay. So a large hawk appears with the freedom screech.
That was a
Okay, yeah.
terrible freedom spree.
Indeed. But with that,
I didn't want to break your ears.
oh Christ. Those of you who were watching the town have noticed that the figures have stopped moving.
Are
What are they
moving
doing now?
anywhere, or are they just sort of stood still?
It's difficult to tell what they're doing at this distance, but they've just sort of stopped moving.
I go into the Hawk and I tell it to go towards the town.
And I'm gonna start walking towards town.
I'm gonna start walking towards town as well.
Okay.
I'm kind of walking with my hand on the other
Cart is the
dwarf's
closest thing
shoulder.
I have to a boat, so I'm gonna sit in it and protect it as if it was my new boat.
He's gonna set up cannons on it by the time you get back.
Yeah,
Sail
I'm gonna
and-
pace around the perimeter of the cart since I can't fit in it.
Okay, so while you two are doing that,
We can fit in it now that there's nobody else but him.
that's true. Ellipsis has slept in it, so
Mm-hmm.
it's just all of you can't fit at once.
Yeah, you can fit probably two.
I don't want to step on the food. I'm too nervous to sit down anyways.
Fair enough. So all of you start. Well, the ones that are going start making their way towards the town, following the road. Belhan, roll me a perception check for your hawk.
Hawk, Hawk.
daylight, so you get advantage.
Mike Hawk.
And it has advantage on perception checks that rely on sight.
I just said that, or am I cutting in and out?
No,
You said
say I
daylight,
heard you.
but yeah.
I didn't.
Daylight, so you get advantage.
Yeah. The hawk is
Okay.
Dark.
wisdom plus
Hawk
2. So whatever the highest number. So wow,
That is a
12.
What?
yeah. Why did it roll it like
12.
that? But okay.
Because he chose
Anyways,
D20 once it's stacked
Yeah.
individually.
So that
it's plus 4, by the way. A hawk
Anyway,
has
it's
plus
12.
4 perception.
Plus 4. Oh, it does. So yeah, 14.
14. Okay.
It's not afraid to get kind of close.
As
Kinda
it's
try to-
getting above, you can see that Josiah was definitely right. There is some lumbering going on in the town. The houses, they appear to be in a bit of disrepair. Some of the ones further back are pretty bad, but you can see the other side of this town and the sort of harbour front. And the sea on the other side of it from the Hawk's position.
Any boats or anything like this?
You can see one. It doesn't look in good condition.
Okay. And then the people lumbering. Can I just like it's gonna not get hella close, like perch on a building and kind of get a closer look at what's going on.
Okay. The Hawk flies ahead of you several hundred meters and lands on what you can quite clearly see now is like a church spire.
It must
It
be
can move
100
to-
feet.
100 feet for vision. Yes.
Vision?
Yeah.
Are you going with the homebrew that Critical Role did?
Yeah. So
Okay.
basically, you can't see beyond 100 feet through him, but you can give him orders.
Okay. Wait,
Or was it the other way around?
it was the
That
other way.
was
Right?
it,
Like
yeah.
I can't communicate.
It
with
was the other way around.
Yeah, I can't give it.
It is both,
Is it
actually.
both?
You can only see through and communicate with your familiar when it's within 100 feet of you.
I
But the
think Critical
the
Role did.
homebrew that you're talking
Yeah,
about
they did it as you can see through him, but you can't.
could tell it after 100 feet. After 100 feet, you can't tell it to do anything, but you can tell it within 100 feet to do something, and then you basically watch and hear
Yeah.
through it.
Okay.
So he goes down and perches on a building. Roll a perception check at advantage.
To be fair, even if he does go out of range, you can give him the order, and then you order him to desummon once he's done it.
Well,
and
he
all the
can,
knowledge returns
with
to him anyway.
Find Familiar, just automatically return him to him within 30 feet. I
He
think?
doesn't need to use find. No, you don't use find familiar. You just put him back in the pocket dimension and
Oh,
pull him back out.
Yeah.
And it comes back to him anyway.
Where you can pop them in and out as and when
So
you need it.
13. The space that you sent him to doesn't have the greatest sightlines on any of the shambling people. You can see some movement off in the distance down a sort of long road, but you can't really see anyone close.
I snap it back to me, just like back on my shoulder. Yeah. I open my eyes up as we're kind of walking towards it.
The
I'm like,
eyes were open,
yeah,
they were just whited over.
oh,
Like you were
right, I mean,
blind.
just like I
but
come
yeah.
back. To me,
Heavy
it's coming
cataract.
back to my own eyes.
Yeah.
I come back and I go, yeah, there's a, they're definitely shambling. There's,
Shambling?
Shambling.
They got a barbecue on there as
Um,
well.
I don't quite like it. It doesn't give me the good feels when it comes to it. I don't really feel good about it. So, I'd say we be cautious. When we get a little closer, I'd say we approach very quietly. I'd probably think. If you're
What, you don't want to go and talk to the locals?
all right. Yeah, let's go talk to the locals.
Okay. So, Josiah, Logan, you fuck off. You guys are seeing them walking into the town, probably shaking your heads at like this is a bad idea. Don't do it. But
So we're like, I don't like this.
that
They get themselves killed.
that's fair. That's fair.
All we're left with are the fucking morons left at Yara.
Ironically,
I know,
the
I mean,
two fucking like frontline fighters have not gone in with you.
Frontline fighter, like
They're scaredy cats. Got it.
superstitious, and you know.
Okay.
Scaredy cat.
So,
Got it.
are you guys kind of stealthing
I
in or
am-
just walking straight in?
No, just walking to the
I'm
front.
just walking in. Yeah.
Just walking in. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're gonna go to the first person we'll see.
I'm just walking
and
cleanly on the
approach
road,
them.
not aggressively or anything. Just
Just casually.
Okay, so
Walking up.
as you walk up, you're now probably within 50 feet. Make perception checks for me.
Within 100 feet, I'd send my bird out to see if they.
You were within 100 feet.
Yeah, you did get within 100 feet of them and you didn't see Dick.
There's a decent roll.
Hey!
take over for me because
That makes up for the natural one that Juliet rolled. She is busy.
Fuck.
Like, she's not paying attention to any of you. She's just walking next to you. So, as you get closer, Rurik, you start to notice the shambling a lot more. And you realize something's off with these people. Maybe they're just pissed, but it doesn't quite fit. And as you get within about 30 feet of the first person, you realize as he turns around, half of his face is missing.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
And
oh,
you
no.
hear this. Roll initiative.
We hear that all the way from
You two do not. But you will get to see
I'm
this.
Super, I just-
Right, so do you want a brew? Let's do.
You have something to drink?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna put. I was
Hey,
gonna
Viking.
get a little fire going, get a kettle brew.
Can I say something before we get into
Go
combat?
for it.
Hello there. Could you happen to take me to your master or creator?
Okay, are you walking up to one of them saying this?
Just as he turns towards me. I'm just gonna stop and say that.
Okay. This one would be the one that was turning towards you. And now you all can see that there are several of these shamblers, and with the noise that he made, and the fact that Rurik just blatantly gave you away, a good few more noises have started happening around the area, and a lot of
Blake
heads...
gave us away. We were walking up to
Oh,
them.
yeah. But then you shouted, "Hello there! Take me to your leader!"
Shout. I didn't shout. I said that in a normal volume. I'm literally 10 feet from him. I'm
How
just
the hell
talking.
did you roll at 1.2?
Hang on.
You saw, guys. It's called
Oh shit,
initiative.
I just
break.
deleted your fucking... Hang on.
So what now?
An initiative breaker. It's saying in the character sheet. It basically is my dexterity. My dexterity is 12. So whenever
right.
two people roll
Yeah.
the same number,
Yeah,
you
it's with the
have
breaker,
to add.
yeah.
You have to take your dexterity, and whoever has the highest dexterity technically goes first.
God fucking damn it.
So
because
tiebreaker
there are
automatically
people-
has it.
because there are people with the same initiative bonus in the party. It automatically goes, okay, cool,
Yeah.
here you go, and sticks a.
Yeah, sticks a
fine.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Because
why
I've checked a thing in my character sheet
I-
for it.
I haven't. But I haven't bothered really.
Well then.
I automatically do it. This is,
There we go. Yeah, you get no response. Whoever these poor souls were
Mindless undead.
They no longer retain any of that. And whatever made them happened a while ago. Fucking hell.
Hmm.
That was actually a good time for the music to ramp up. Nice.
Wait,
I
there's
don't
music?
hear any music.
I'm listening to my own music.
I was like, wait a minute.
I just had the Skyrim like daytime thing going, ambience
I'm
going in the
listening
background.
So the zombies
Shadowrun-
didn't
the-
roll very high.
Shadowrun Return.
Hmm.
It's wildly inappropriate for this game, but I want to listen to it.
That seems fair.
Fair enough.
That seems fair. So Juliet will go first.
I feel like one of us should have her character sheet because she's a party companion.
Hey,
I will give you the character
Alexis,
sheet
you want to
after
actually
this.
get onto a tile there, or are you just gonna stand there breaking the rules, breaking the law, breaking the law?
To be fair, there's tiles under
Yeah,
tiles
it's-
right now.
I threw this together quickly
Oh,
because
no,
I didn't
no,
think
no.
you'd actually go into the fucking town.
Viking.
Yeah, I should have realized. I will remember for next time.
Yeah. When you have someone that says, "Okay, yes, that town's full of zombies," well, we're going into it anyway.
He didn't say zombies. He said swamp
Yeah.
men.
He didn't say zombies. I thought it could have been swamp men, or intelligent
men.
undead.
Okay,
Intelligent
if the
undead you can
ogre-
actually reason with.
if the ogre is fighting swamp men who are encroaching on his forest, that tells me that they're not friendly.
mean-
when the ogre himself is friendly.
No,
I'm
hang
sorry,
on.
but I wasn't there for that because I had to go grab dinner, and nobody told me
That
this.
doesn't mean that they aren't
No, we
reasonable.
did.
Humans will destroy an ogre's forest. That doesn't mean you can't talk to them.
That's fair.
Also, yeah,
Human
Oh,
are the most greedy, selfish assholes in the history of D&D. That does not mean you can't talk to them.
That's
No,
true.
it doesn't.
Um,
However, what I would also point out is that there's nothing pointing to these guys actually being swamp men. They could just be regular shit.
That's what I'm saying.
But
That's
when you're like, oh, there's a town over there that's burnt to the ground, it's all ruins, and there's things shambling through it, you're like, I'd rather avoid it if possible, or at least sneak in and get a recce. No, I'm going in to have a conversation.
he makes a fair point.
I mean, I would.
This is why DMs Google good puzzles for toddlers.
hey, Runic. at least
Okay,
succeeded.
Runic, listen.
Just
You succeeded the first puzzle. Gave food to the ogre.
Runic, it's this little thing called being in character.
In character, you're an idiot. Your intelligence is higher than that. You're an intelligence caster.
Oh yeah,
I mean, in
hold on, hold on.
character,
Is
we've
it-
never heard
it
of
should be-
zombie movies.
Would this be
No,
wisdom or intelligence?
okay,
going to the
Viking.
town?
Viking, you have the fucking background for my
Oh, yeah.
character. You should have known that I do this
Oh yeah.
immediately.
Oh yeah.
I'm just curious. Maybe there might be books here.
Okay.
And Joe is a sailor, so he's superstitious, and it's
So
like, oh, they look shambling.
Juliet is gonna go
Exactly.
first.
No, that makes sense.
How do I do the ruler thing? How's it?
You can also click on them as well. If you hold the character and right click, you just get that little.
Yeah, it'll get another ruler,
Okay.
and you can match it
Juliet is going to move in between these two.
in
In
between.
between.
What?
So she's flanked.
Kind of.
No,
that's
she is
flanking.
literally flanked.
That
She
is
has literally
definition
flanked
flanking.
herself. Okay.
She could stand here and still hit both of them and not be
That's
flanked.
true. She will
Literally one
she will
tile.
stand there. You are quite correct. And she will cast
I'm gonna kill my.
Word of Radiance.
Ah,
Yeah, that's fair.
Gripping her newly found icon of the goddess of life, she casts a spell and bright sunlight emits from her directly onto the two zombies next to her.
See this?
You two can see a bright light emanating from there now. And both of them have failed their constitution check. And they take 5 points of damage, I do believe. No, sorry. They take 7 points of radiant damage. Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you?
I can't believe they've come into a spot
Actually,
of trouble.
I kind of did because I saw her getting the talisman. And I was like, she's gonna do holy shit. But okay.
Oh, have they? You sure? I'm trying to make sure.
The
Bright light coming from the spooky
the
town.
interesting thing is when she speaks the word radiance, there is almost a echo to her voice.
Can you show it, please? Can you give us a vocal example?
Not really.
Okay.
There was a
Right.
almost like a reverb to her voice, something otherworldly, and that ends her turn. Oh wait. Next turn, ellipsis.
Yeah, you hit the next turn button. Just like the tabletop next turn button.
Yep.
Encounter shield. Screen. Bright lights. That's better. I think we should all leave.
Yes, that's probably a good idea.
I think leaving is good. Juliet, now that you're engaged with them, please disengage soon.
Is that your
and
turn?
same.
Just telling her to leave.
No, that's an incidental.
Okay.
Speak with animals. Hey, zombie. How high are these walls? Just out of curiosity. These like proper like building size, so like above my head.
There are a couple that are like that in this surrounding area. Sort of this one over here is about 7 foot tall. It's crumbled and not
So if
hugely intact, so you could probably push
If I
through
pull
it
back
quite
to
lightly.
here, well, if I pull back to here, could I shoot over to this one?
No, it would be blocked by the corner of the wall. Just
Could I
barely.
shoot over
You
to
could
the-
shoot to that one, yes. Because he's
Okay,
standing about
and
2 feet
obviously to
taller
that one
than
up there.
Juliet.
Yeah,
So.
and obviously to that one
Yeah.
above. Well, I'm going to shoot the one that's just standing above Juliet.
Okay. Roll to hit. That
Mhm.
definitely hits. How much damage?
5 points of damage.
Okay. So you fire the arrow and it embeds itself into the zombie. It doesn't seem too phased by it.
I'm slowly beginning on this form of we should really leave. And with that, I'm going to back up. I don't know, about up 10 feet.
Okay.
Another 10 feet to about here.
Yep,
Not too
that's
far.
fair.
But I'll leave that there. Now that my turn.
Okay. Red or Rurik, what will you do next?
Alright, so, yes, realizing that these are mindless undead and thus cannot be talked to or reasoned with in any sort of way, I'm gonna step back here,
I'm gonna fucking like it.
and I'm actually going to cast... Actually, wait, can I cast first?
You can cast first
Wait,
before
so I
you
was
move.
here.
Sure. You were there.
You're right in front of me. One more.
Okay. I now realize I don't really have the spell that I need prepared for this. Or actually, no. I would, because I swapped to... Yeah, okay. No, sorry. I was miscounting things. Alright, so yeah, 20 feet back, and then catapult.
What are you?
Picking up a loose stone from here. I'd imagine there's
Oh yeah,
plenty of
there's
loose stones
loose
around.
stone, loose wood, just shit strewn all across the floor.
And I'm gonna try to nail that one with.
Okay. How does that work exactly? I can't remember.
So basically,
Oh, catapult.
I pick any object weighing 1 to 5 pounds within range. Range is 150 feet. And then it flies in a straight line up to 90 feet until it hits something.
Okay.
So the creature that's in that straight line from here, because I'm gonna actually no, I'll fling it off this way around the corner.
Elhen,
Yeah,
duck.
that's the smart thing to do.
No. Viking, I
Direction
can
from-
pick anything, any loose object within 150 feet. So I'm gonna pick a rock from about there, the corner of the building, and fling it this way.
Okay. How much damage does that do?
First off, it needs to make a dex save.
Yes.
yeah.
Dexterity of zombies, not high.
That's the plan.
And if it misses the first
So what's
one,
your spell
you
DC
can
for
hit
that?
the second.
12. Yeah.
Well, it rolled a 19. Even with a -2,
Well,
that's a 17.
Okay, well,
That's the first one. What about the second one?
The second one, yes, that is a good point because it will travel in a straight
Does it
line
keep
until it
going?
hits something.
it
That is a
doesn't
natural 1. So he fails that one.
clonk to the brick.
So that's 3d8 bludgeoning.
That seems awfully high for that, but okay.
It's because it's a really easy thing to dodge. to be
Yeah,
fair.
that's true.
Oh yeah. It's literally a 12 dex.
It's-
So that's
it's
9
one of the-
damage to you this one.
9
one.
damage, okay.
Mm.
The brick hits it in the side, and well, it hits it square in the face. It sort of stumbles back very slightly, but then continues forwards, uncaring about the brick that just smacked it in the face.
Hey, Mr. Willock, did you just see a piece of masonry fly?
You did not
towards,
see that. Shut the
around
fuck
corner?
up.
That was me. Keep running.
You two are a good 400 meters away. You saw the bright light. You don't see a brick flying through the air.
I'll send a brick flying at you guys in a second or two here. Wait, how far away did you say they were?
About 300, 400 meters. You can't throw it that
Ah,
far.
Yeah, no, 'cause it's 150, then an
It would
additional
fall
90 feet.
a long way short. Vonrin, you're up.
Only 100 feet. Oh my gosh. I immediately go, Juliet, you should probably not be right there. Let's go. I look at the first one
Run.
as I look at the one in front of me. I throw a fireball at not fireball.
I'm sorry,
firebolt
what?
At it.
Good, good.
Firebolt at it.
I know for a fact you didn't take
it's-
evocation. Juliet's fucked.
11 to hit.
Yeah, 11 to hit.
Okay, 11 does hit.
Also, are you seriously
Yay!
cantrip here?
I mean,
Yeah,
Juliet just did.
Yeah, but that's
and
Juliet.
it did 9
Do
damage.
the one next to Juliet? To that
See
one.
here.
Okay.
That one's
And
gonna
on fire,
probably.
too.
Yeah,
Be
don't
back
zombies
in
take
just
double
a-
damage.
Nope.
Be back in just a minute. If I'm not back just before my next turn, I'm gonna continue running.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
yeah, 9 damage to that one.
Okay, and that ends your turn, does it? Or are you gonna move?
Nope.
He's gonna fucking cheese it. Yes, once you get off the map, I will say that you are basically just running as fast as you can. So, Vonrin, next turn, you will
Mr.
be out
Willock,
of
you
it.
see one of the rock eaters running towards us.
Okay.
No, I'm quite happily here brewing myself a cup of tea or whatever the fuck our equivalent is.
Now.
I'm gonna start making my way towards the town.
Well then. The strangest thing is going to happen as all of you are backing up and firing. The zombies are going to walk straight past Juliet.
Huh.
Gotta say, this tea's low. Takes a while to boil, though.
Your
I'm sorry, Mr. Willock, you're talking to yourself. I'm running towards the town.
your tea has boiled by now.
Yeah, what? That's
It's
it. Fucking
Julian's
quick
fault
stack,
that she
seconds.
ran
Jesus, well,
forward.
Very fast boiling water.
Also, did she have to be within touch range for that spell?
5 feet.
Oh, okay.
And that ends the zombies' turn because they are chasing after you guys. Juliet is going to obey by your request that they run and skimmy past this zombie and come up next to you, Ellipsis. I believe that's 30 feet, is it not?
Does she disengage or does she?
Well, they're
They
already
ignore
behind
her as she runs past them.
Oh, so she can double if she wants. Cause she's got that action.
Or she could totally, like, stab one as it was.
Or
Or
that.
she fucking legged it. Okay.
As you see, she just walks past these zombies. Well, not walks, but jogs past these zombies without them even bothering to look at her. She then turns around and again you hear an ethereal voice come out of her as a huge beam of light flies from her hand, striking this zombie.
Well,
Right,
let's
I'm
see
gonna
if
start
that
sprinting towards the town because I'm pretty sure I saw.
You definitely did see the beam of light, yes. And so did Josiah. You again saw this bright beam come, well, bright light come from there.
Right. Well, I'm sure they can handle themselves.
Okay. That's an 18, that definitely hits. Okay. Oh fucking hell. Okay. 11, 15, 16, 18. So she does 18 damage, radiant damage, to this fellow here. Which leaves quite a visible hole straight through him. And he is actually just sort of glittering slightly.
Oh,
And anyone who attacks her or attacks him will have advantage on their next roll.
attacks Juliet gets advantage. That would be fun.
No, thanks.
So that ends her turn. Ellipsis will continue moving back, he did say. He could just leg it, but I imagine Musket wouldn't want to leave Juliet behind.
Didn't you originally get her to be a meat shield?
I think so.
Point back, hit point back.
She's still tougher than you.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm saying it.
Or would he just run? No, I don't think he would abandon Juliet. What do you guys think?
Say toss a coin.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't actually have a coin, so I'll roll a d4. 2 or up. That's a 3, so he doesn't abandon her. Fuck, that's a d4 on the ground. Uh-oh.
Who doesn't abandon?
Oh
me?
shit, caltrops!
Yeah,
Let's stand still!
I don't want to take 1 d4 damage, thanks.
No, Brett, it's even worse. It's not caltrops, it's marbles.
No, these are worse.
No,
You fall
D4.
prone on marbles.
So he will turn around and fire his bow at this mobby. The one that she hit. So he will get advantage. Ellipsis.
I'm imagining ellipsis considering muskets.
Oh.
That would be short bow. He gets advantage. I rolled 3. Whoops. Luckily for him, the first 2 do hit. So he will take the 12, obviously, as its advantage. Oh, fuck's sake. Why did that not do damage? I clicked the damage button.
What do you mean won't do?
I don't know, I clicked the
On-
damage and type.
Click on the
The
name.
name. The name.
The name on the
Yeah, it
actual
just rolls
roll
that.
area.
No, on the, no,
No, no,
on
no, no,
the-
no. On
on the ro-
rolling area, like where
on
you
the
see the
log,
roll.
click on
Click.
there, it's a short button.
That's what I clicked.
Oh. Yeah, we can't click on it by the looks of it, but
What the hell?
The hell are those?
That's me. That's me, Cybrant and Bellin trying to click on where it says short bow
Alright, well, he does.
on the
We'll just
actual
do it this way.
on the log, not on the character sheet.
Oh, wait,
Also,
on the log. There we go.
Yeah, in
Yes.
the
Yeah,
Hey,
that's what we're
You,
saying.
you just said click the
We
name.
literally said log on
No,
the
we
log.
were on the log, on where it's rolled on the right side.
Okay, so that does 6 damage. Now he has to make a DC 11. He makes an 11, so he is put down to 1 HP. So the arrow goes in to the zombie's like eye socket, and it looks like he's about to drop. And then he goes half down and just continues lumbering forwards. Rurik, you're up. Red.
Mm.
I thought you disconnected again. I
Yeah,
was like,
sorry.
oh god, no.
No. I'm just gonna run 25 feet
Okay.
because I know Juliet's at the very least as fast as me.
I believe she's faster. I'm not sure. She can run 30.
I'm gonna throw a frostbite at the one that just got hit by the
Okay.
arrow.
What does
So that's a Constitution save.
Okie dokie. That's a 3, so he does take the hit. And then that will be 5 points of damage, so DC 10. He does not succeed. So the arrow is still sticking out of his eye. He's still shambling forwards, and then this blast of ice comes out of your hand and impacts him. And it looks like he's going to keep going. He stumbles forward for about another 2 steps before just hitting the ground dead.
Alright. And I will be right back. I have to run to the bathroom really quick.
Okay. And you will be off the map by that point, so you will have withdrawn from battle. Vonrin.
I'm I go. One.
See, I told you he was a rock eater.
One
He's
moment.
just shoving rocks in his mouth.
He's shoveling the cobblestone
Okay.
before he can leave.
Okay, sorry. All right. Yeah, he's gonna throw a. Actually, no, he's just gonna start running. So fuck it.
Okay, so you will
Like Juliet, you better fucking start running like a motherfucker.
leave the
As
battle.
I start fucking start jogging it. It's like fuck this shit.
Okay,
Fuck this shit,
so it will be the zombies' turn. They will continue moving 20 feet. That one is dead.
I will like.
You're right there, Bellin.
I will occasionally keep throwing firebolts.
Okay, so are you going to throw a firebolt
with the
before
range.
your turn ends, or?
I'm just saying, like after my next turn, like if we keep all running, like I'll just keep throwing
Oh, okay. Yep.
firebolts and stuff like
That
that.
ends their turn, and
I'm still charging towards the town till I see everyone leave.
Juliet is going to basically just run past Ellipsis, and Ellipsis will follow her, and you can now see all 4 of them running away from the town.
Yeah, I'm still gonna
I-
keep heading towards him.
They have left the outskirts of the town now, and you can see
Yeah, well, I need
I
needs to cover them.
you can see a small horde of zombies following them out.
I'm continuously throwing.
I'm sorry, you're doing what?
Should I roll?
What, firebolt?
Yeah.
What Firebolt is a dexterity check to miss, isn't it?
D10.
Or is it to hit?
Nope, it's an attack.
Okay, yep. That hits. Which one are you hitting? The first one?
The one
Yeah.
closest.
Roll damage. Okay, so he takes 5 damage.
When we get to the point where I that like we're far like what was it? I think 130 feet
120.
from them. What's 100? Yeah, when we're around 120, I'll kind of pause and I'll just throw a few fireballs and wait until they're about another wait till they gain about another 40 feet and then I'll start running again.
Okay, so you're basically turning around and attacking then, while you keep running.
Yeah.
They continue following you for about 100 meters or so out of the town.
Oh, should I roll?
Dunqua. You want to roll another firebolt? Okay.
What should I roll for every 40 feet they
Just
run?
roll 2 more firebolts and we'll call it good there.
Okay.
Okay, yep, both of those hit. Roll damage for them. Okay, and those will be against this guy. That will bring him down to
Are we close to
13.
Are we close to Logan?
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
met up with Logan now. Yep.
Logan, run as I turn around, throw a few more firebolts at them.
That one drops.
You're right, as I continue running.
Yeah, I told you I was right. I'm gonna bring my shield up and I'm gonna start following them, placing the zombie horde.
That one drops, but the rest keep going for about 20 more meters, and then they stop and turn around and go back into the town.
I just keep throwing. I don't give a shit. As soon as they get out of my range, then I stop.
Okay, they are out of your range now.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you guys don't stop running until you reach the cart.
If I see them turn around, I stop and I start breathing. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Okay.
Right.
I-
You lot are fucking idiots.
Hey, we didn't know what they for sure were. We now know, and we now know what to tell the fucking town. We learned. It's called confirming your theory.
It is. You know what? Or confirming your theory. Sort of like sitting just quite happily sipping from a hot drink.
Very sagely, with his legs tucked under him.
Yeah, just sat at the edge of the cart. Just right. Just going in quietly rather than walking up the main road and trying to talk to one of them.
You know, you're absolutely
What
right.
some of us might call reconnoiter, or a phrase for it might be reconnoiter. You might know it as going for a recce. You might know it as reconnaissance, or
I
scouting.
I thought that, but it seemed Rurik had no fear when it came to it. It was very confusing, but I went along with him, and I was like, "Fuck it," I'd let him go first.
That's totally fine. I understand that now we have half of our number are headstrong and oblivious to any semblance of danger to their persons. I shall endeavour to make sure that
Oh, stop it!
I'm amply protected.
Right. So the job now is to burn this fucking town to the ground, isn't it?
I hate to say this,
I-
Mr. Talkback, but it
it's
looks
already
very much
done.
like it's already been burned.
Burn it again. Nothing left.
You know,
Glass.
I can confirm it
Glass.
has been burned down already.
Yes.
I mean, I
Yes.
told you that before you went in.
No,
Ah,
it's not burned
confirmation.
enough. We need to glass it. It needs to become nothing
Right.
but glass.
Okay.
You
Would
need a
you
higher
have
level
to know
spell
any-
for that.
No, you wouldn't happen to know any dragons nearby, would you?
Why the hell
Dragon.
would I know dragons nearby?
They,
Are those
you,
even-
none of you have
they're-
ever been to this island.
How would you even know there's even like? How do you know if they're even real? Are dragons even a thing? Do we know?
Yeah,
that?
dragons.
Do we really
You
know?
know of dragons.
Right. All
I'm-
I'll say, you got to bear in mind, Vonran. An awful lot of, I am a little bit more on the skeptical side myself most of the time. But as a rule, a lot of the creatures of myth and legend tend to be regarded fairly seriously in groups such as ours. There are many things that folk merely talk about in hushed tones, to youngsters to scare them at night that we've definitely seen, and when you're
Have
out on the sea at night.
I read books on dragons?
Yeah.
Are there
Apparently
actual...
not.
Dragon. I mean,
I'm
You
I don't
know
know.
that any of you from the Empire know that it's quite common propaganda to for the Empire to instill fear about the Conclave, about their dragon riders, where they ride dragons into battle and are terrifying monsters who will come along at night and steal children from the border towns and such.
What?
It's what the Empire
Okay.
says.
So the Empire. So have I read any books that seem to prove such information?
Yeah. In school, you read books about the Conclave, what limited knowledge there is about the Conclave.
Okay.
So you know that dragons exist, and there are definitely dragons around. Whether or not there are any members from the Conclave who actually ride them is not certain, and whether or not that they steal children, you imagine that's probably more of a old wives' tale to try and get the kids to be nice and not be naughty.
Okay. So basing my knowledge of that, I would go. Right. I mean, we don't even know if there's any dragons around here. You know, we don't know this area. And also glassing. How would that would be a little fire. That would be just too much work. We could if we wanted to.
When
take
it
some
comes to
time.
clearing, damned undead, no amount of work is too much work.
You have a lot of experience,
Well,
do you, Logan?
I mean, they turned around as soon as we got far enough.
Who's to say they won't stay that way? Whatever
Well,
damnable force that controls them could have them, I don't know, head towards Yaren. And guess what? We now have more zombies.
Fun fact, someone's
the
already
question-
told
the
you that
thing-
they do that.
I mean, we I think we could, take some of them out here and there. It'd be very dangerous work. Though, what we could do
It
instead,
could-
hold on. We could do instead is we could go back to the yarn and get another job from them to clear this place out. Now that would make us some long-term,
Or what we
debt
right
Yes,
to us.
right right? Can I just what I'm not after in this is going hither and yon for a bunch of yokels that don't know, like that had their frontier spirit to expand about 5 to 10 kilometers out from their home fucking landing. I am not running all over the place and clearing shit out for them. What I will say is this: what was his name? Trunk. Ogre fella.
Trunk.
Yeah, right.
Trunk.
He seemed to think that he was stopping any of these buggers getting through the forest. So
As if
I probably say, that's it again. That's true. If these are the swamp men he's thinking of, although let's be honest, the surroundings are a bit
Damp.
swampy.
Swampy.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a little bit like Yarmouth over there, to be honest.
It's a good guess that these are them.
Right. Okay.
No.
So if we're heading right, if we assume that these are them swamp folk old Trunk was talking about, then is it safe for us to assume that he's still okay, keeping him out of the way? We can continue on scouting around the opposite direction, and once we've got a little bit more on the side of maps and information, then we can head on back to Yaren and see what they want us to do from there.
I like that. That sounds like a good
We've
idea.
got
I would agree
we've
with
got
that.
enough Food for another 2 days out, or is it
3
1 day
days.
out? And then
I think it's
three-
3
oh,
days.
sorry,
Well, actually,
right,
no.
okay, so we got another.
About 4.5 days, 4 days.
Yeah, but I'm meaning for like going out
Oh,
and
yeah.
then enough for the return journey to
Yeah.
Yaren as well.
About a day then.
So,
A
right,
day,
okay,
day and a
about,
half or
well,
so.
Okay, so I'd say let's get back to that crossroads, head a little bit further out from there, see what we can find, and if we can find anything else, brilliant. If not, we might have to see if we can hunt something, stock up on the supplies for a wee bit, and then head on back to Yaren, get whether it's another set of dry rations or whatever. Head on down, keep charting the course as we go.
I like it. I agree with that.
I'm not that I'm. If we wanted to get any more information on the town, I mean,
I will say it was quite stupid for us to just walk right into there. If
Well,
our
how dense was the sort of the population, shall we say?
All right, I'm back.
the area we came across, there was about how many that did we see?
That you saw that chased you, there was about 8 in that small area. So maybe 30 or so in the entire town. You're not really sure.
So kind of
okay.
keeping an eye based off that, you know, about 30, 40, a high number 40, I'd probably say.
Right. Okay. So if we want to get more information on what that place is, because like we have no idea what it is. It's a ruin. It's been
Yeah.
burnt down. It's half
I mean,
destroyed, and there's a load of undead
we-
around the place. If we want to get more information on it, what we could do this time is try a slightly more circumspect approach.
Yeah.
You know, go at it around the side of the town, maybe circle the outside the town, see if we can get any more, information on what we can see, an idea of numbers or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we can, turn around, head back, so that we actually have some useful information rather than there's a burnt out town, it's got zombies in it. See if we can actually learn anything properly.
If we go around to the west, we can see if there's a bridge of some kind connecting this to, well, much closer to
The
Yara.
mainland. Oh, yeah, we can do. That's true. We skirt around the town. Yeah, because we haven't seen up the top of that headland.
Around this area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right, we could do that. Yeah. Okay. So while we're over here, I mean, what time are we now? Sort of mid afternoon.
After this whole debacle, it would be about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Should we park up here? Leave a couple of us here. I'm quite happy going on foot, keeping out the way. Going for a quick scouting sort of thing up that direction, because I don't think it's particularly wise to lug the cart and make a hell of a lot of noise nearby the town. Don't really want to, alert much. So we might as well do a little bit of a skirt around to the western side.
All right.
I like
think
that. I mean,
because I'm not exactly stealthy.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, I'll be honest. What were the? You said there were the sort of shamblers in town. What were they? I heard you
they
use
were
the term
definitely
undead before.
Oh, they were zombies.
yeah,
Right.
just,
Okay. Oh, right. Like sort of
Mindless undead
half
at that.
dead. You know, you can
No
see
reasoning,
some of
no
their
talking, no intelligence.
half of the face
Ah,
kind
right.
of falling off.
Right. The sort of walking corpses. Right. Okay.
Maybe not then.
Well, no. I mean, did they seem particularly alert? Were they,
We
We
got
got about
within
10 feet up to
30
one of them
feet.
before it. No, that was 10 feet before it actually noticed us.
right? So I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about being stealthy then, if you can wander that close before they notice. If we want to, like if we leave, maybe if people want to stay here at the car, we can set up a small thing, leave it, as long as we have somebody guarding it, because I'd hate for stuff to wander out the town. I hate for stuff to wander out the town and come down and eat whatever what have we called this donkey? Have we got a name? Is it
I
just
believe
donkey?
we just called him ass.
Right, so I'd hate for somebody to eat ass. So, yeah, so, if someone wants to stay behind and guard him, I'm more than happy if you want to do the whole sneaking bollocks. I'm quite happy going up and round and seeing. Because you're right, actually, if there is a land bridge up there, then that would be faster.
or a library. We could find out what happened here if they
Find
have.
the library in the middle
We
of the goddamn
right,
swamp.
what we could do. You're right. I am, however, rapidly reminded of your most recent exit from the town. It was not graceful,
Just
nor
saying.
particularly productive, but it'd be easier for us to, if we need to see as much of a situation as you can before you make a judgment. Don't you?
That's what
Let's
I'm
go
saying.
and do some seeing.
Yeah, some look around. Get a good reach around and get an idea of what's going on.
Right,
Please don't
so
phrase it that way.
Vonrin's getting a reach around. Nobody's eating ass. And we're all going for a sneak through the undergrowth.
Sounds about right. Okay. So, you
Sounds good.
sneaking around this bit or this bit?
Face first into the bush.
Okay, face first into the bush you go. I'm gonna put the token basically there, but that's not the case.
Yeah, like that sort of way. You know, you go around.
Okay, yeah. No, we'll just put that there then. Whatever.
I don't know where the town is. You know, like where the top of the town
So
ends.
as you're walking through, you start adding more bits to the map. As you walk round the town, you start seeing gaps.
Gonna be here, but muted because eating.
Okay. And eventually you break out from the woods, and then you see this.
Anything
Shit.
more to the right that we can?
So is that an actual? Is that like a? So is that like? How narrow does that look? Does it like look
You can
narrow enough for
quite
it to
clearly see the other
fall, or-
other side. It from your position, it's probably about 150-ish feet across, and you can quite clearly see the forest on the other side.
Okay.
Right.
How deep or fast moving does it look to be? Is
It looks relatively fast moving. Depth, it's difficult to gauge. Along the edges, it looks maybe 2 feet deep, but towards the middle, it looks like it could be anywhere between 15 and 30 feet deep. It's difficult to tell.
All right. Okay. Oh, hang on. I've lost connection to Roll20.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Looks that way.
All right. Yeah. Is it? Do we think it's wide enough or?
I think he just lost.
Maybe. Are you back now? You good?
Oh,
What
oh.
further shit is going on? The tiniest moment of time out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does it look like deep enough, or like narrow enough for stuff to be able to cross?
If you had a small rowboat or something like that, you could probably quite easily get across. It'd be a bit of a challenge fighting the current, but you could probably manage it, yeah.
We wouldn't be able to do it with like the donkey.
No,
cart.
it's too deep in the middle.
That's fine. So you not fordable.
No, but crossable relatively simply. With the right equipment.
Another bridge to build.
If you really wanted to make a bridge for the undead to cross, sure.
No, the bridge would be built after we dealt with the undead.
Lovely. You also, as you realize that Juliet's come with you, you also realize she's been drawing all this on the map, and she's also labeled the town as
Right.
Old Yaren.
Juliet. Right, Juliet. Since you were,
Oh.
I mean, since you're fairly adept at drawing stuff, have you explored this bit of the island before?
Nope.
Where did that name come from?
She sort of looks at you and shrugs.
Did you just make it up then?
She nods.
Right, okay. Fair enough, I
I
suppose.
think we should rename it to Zombie
You
Shithole.
kind
but
of
that's
gather that
me.
she's just going off the fact that Yaren is to the north and this place is old and such, so Old Yaren?
Right, okay. No, that's fairly sensible.
We should call this zombie infested.
Yeah,
shithole,
none of
but
you have
that works.
seen fucking Scarborough paired with Twinings. Or a sign saying the like.
Oh, right, okay.
Should we go all around?
I
the
mean-
town?
I believe we should move the cart away, far as away from this village as possible now before night falls.
I mean, yeah, we should probably head over towards Yaren to let people know about this.
That is a
And,
good 7-hour journey now.
Well, yeah.
Well, back
If
to
you
Yaren,
follow the road,
okay.
yeah.
Hang on, what? We had a night. That's like a day and a half, isn't it?
No.
from here if we camped
It only
overnight?
took you about 4 hours to get to the camp. And then
Oh,
going
okay.
around this way, it took you about another 6 hours because you
Oh, okay.
so it'd take it. Yeah, it'd take you about 7 hours or so to get back if you kept at a normal pace.
We could do what I said before. Was we could assume that old Trunk's already been keeping him from getting through to Yaren anyway. So we might as well continue back on west and scout some more of that out until we have, just enough food to let us get back again, and then we can double back, get back to Yaren, and give him a big information dump at once.
I'm fine with that
But-
plan. I'm just saying we should move the cart as far away from
Oh,
the
no,
town
no, I
before
know.
Narc-
No, I know. I was just thinking. I thought we'd left the cart where
I thought
we
the
were
cart
on
was
where
left
I'd parked on
where
the
it
road.
was parked, with like a couple of
I don't-
people with it or whatever.
Yeah,
I think Red
just-
said he was
yeah,
going to
I-
stay with it because he's not very good at sneaking.
No, then I decided to go
Oh,
with.
so did
because-
everyone just
yeah, I
go
would
with?
say that they're not particularly.
We'll say Ellipsis
well-
stayed behind.
Yes, convenient plot device. Musket, you don't have a
Yeah,
choice. in
because
it.
you're not here.
Yeah, I mean, while we're up there, what sort of time of day is it now?
With the sort of slowish pace that you've walked around, it's approaching 4 p.m. You imagine you've still got about 4 or so hours of daylight, so you could probably do a full circuit of the town and make it back before nightfall, far before nightfall, with a couple of
Yeah.
hours to spare to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
away.
So let's go and follow. I'm assuming this is the coast here. I'm guessing. Let's sort of try and follow the coast. Stick to the sort of outside of town, far enough away that we could, not get fucking seen by these phenomenally observant things.
Question.
Possible answer.
You said earlier we could barely see a tower. Can we see that tower better now?
Yes, you landed a hawk on it.
It was a tower?
Yeah, I did say that now that you're closer, you can quite clearly see that it's a church tower.
Gotcha. Okay. That
You
I
landed
did-
your hawk on the
Sorry,
spire of the church.
Yeah, I was just saying. I've got stuff written down about a church steeple and things, and I was thinking a tower. I didn't.
Because
fucking- I was
when you
thinking,
were
like, sort of
you
like-
were a good.
I was thinking
yeah,
Orphanc
you were a good
when
like
Bellum was
6
talking, and I'm thinking,
kilometers
fuck.
away, and there's a decent amount of fog. You realise just sort of walking around, and the tower about 6 kilometers away. You could make the tower out above the fog, but that was about it. And then as you got closer, you realised that it was a church steeple, wasn't it? It was probably the tallest building left standing.
Okay.
Oh, thank fuck for a second there. I thought my internet had taken a shit again. I was like, oh god, no. So you're going to sneak around there? A sort of casual, not open walk, but a casual walk. Please someone say something. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, we'll just sort of skirt the outside
Okay,
of
so
town.
that'll take you about 2 hours or so to skirt, and Juliet will draw as you go. This sort of ends up being revealed as time progresses, and as you reach sort of like the harbour way, the ground has sunken and the water has risen up onto what used to be the harbour. There is a ship. You imagine that it shouldn't be there because it's on the harbour. Not docked at the harbour, on the harbour. It doesn't look in great condition. A lot of rotted wood, a lot of years of no maintenance and such. But there's something spooky about it as well. Something like...
Maybe.
This is why you burn boats when they beach, so ghosts and zombies don't linger.
Yeah, I will agree with you there, sir. However,
You do see
you remove the booze.
you
first.
do see some
Goblins.
zombies sort of walking into the sides of the deck, and that there's a big hole in the side of it as well. It kind of looks like the Flying Dutchman from Pirates of the Caribbean, like in that sort of disrepair state.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. So you give it a bit of a wide berth, sort of going around it, making sure that no one spots you or anything. And you manage to get past it fine and make your way around the coast. It opens up quite a bit from the beach sort of side, although this is all swampland at this point. You imagine that that's kind of what happened. The sea kind of rose and claimed this part of the island, and it's just kind of become a swamp in that vein. But you make your way all the way around and back to the
Right.
cart, marking down everything you
God, it is East
see.
Anglia.
No, it's fucking Florida. It's already staked its claim. You make your way around. Nothing really sticks out. A lot more destroyed buildings on the looking west from over here. I can't mark that from over this way. Looking into the town, you see more destroyed buildings, that sort of thing. Some more zombies shambling around. Nothing that really... None of you really spot anything that would indicate what caused this, or who controlled or controls these zombies. And you...
If they are
controlled, yeah, you honestly don't know. And you make it back to the cart by about 6 p.m.-ish, so you got about 2 hours before darkness comes.
We rush as fast as we can out
by the
here.
way,
Hello.
Viking. When we're flowing around, spellcraft isn't exactly a thing or Arcana. It is okay. I was about to say, could I do an Arcana check to see if I could feel any sort of lingering magic?
Sure.
If it was a
Shift
big
the souls
old
of it or something.
curse or something, then it
Ah,
would
that-
leave some sort of an impact.
Sure, go for it.
Whereas if it was
Magic,
just
magic.
happened slowly, it wouldn't really.
Also, a note of during our walk around, every once in a while I send the bird out to kind of look around, to kind of keep an eye out, see if he can see anything new couldn't see before. And I'm using it to help with the map creation as well, so it'll kind of go up further and kind of see what it can
Yeah,
see.
as your
up
hawk
high.
flies over, it sees some more shambling undead walking around. Nothing really big or anything. You see one rather
numbers.
large-looking zombie, but a little bit closer inspection from the hawk, you realise that it's just a really fat zombie. For the most part.
Oh no, it's
Yeah, for the most part, you don't see anything too out of the ordinary. You see more destroyed houses, etc.
Is there any? So is the church the only big building? Is there any
There-
building that seems like
There
town
is
center?
a
Town.
sort of what you imagine at one point was probably the town hall. It's still mostly standing.
Oh,
Is there a
Vonric,
door?
Is there a door?
You can kind of
There-
see.
wh-
You can kind of
There's
see.
one
he can't
attached.
hear anything.
The other is kind of on the floor, but kind of.
Can the bird kind of? Is there any zombies laying or standing around the area?
You notice that the town hall is, for the most part, clear of zombies. That surrounding area, they seem to be going outwards away from it. Not necessarily away from it, but they just don't go near it.
Can the bird kind of land and kind of walk in, see what he can see?
Yeah. So he,
See, basically, I'm trying to find books.
okay,
Vonric, while you're having your familiar look around, can you look for a name?
Doesn't hear me.
Yeah, I know. Because you're not paying attention to anything because you're in the bird.
yep.
How the bird works.
He goes in and he's sort of pitter-pattering around, flying through an open hallway that looks like it was stocked with shelves at one point. Most of them have fallen over. There are books strewn along the ground, but when you send the bird over, you're going to need to come up with a name for your bird.
I'll find
When
the name.
when you send him over to have a look, he sort of almost pecks his way through to open the books, and as you open it, there is a strange dialect on one of the papers, which you manage to catch a glimpse of before the pages disintegrate, as the paper is so old that the bird opening the book just exposed it to air and it just evaporated.
I immediately come out of the bird and start writing out whoever I saw,
Okay.
trying to mimic it.
Make me an
as best
intelligence
as
check
possible.
to see how much of it you can remember and how accurately you can get it.
Oops, that's the wrong one.
I said intelligence.
Sorry, intelligence.
There you go. You managed to get probably the first 3 lines down with pretty certain accuracy. You don't know what the fuck it means, but you managed to get it down. So you can definitely
Okay.
continue investigating along that path.
All right, just trying to remember it and be like.
Red, your Arcana check. We'll go back to you now. As you're sort of walking around, you're sort of feeling the ground and just the atmosphere and everything, and there is a hint of magic, but it's very faint, like it was cast a long time ago. It's difficult to place what it is. You can definitely sense that magic was probably involved, but whether it was a curse or some kind of magical disease, you have no idea. What the fuck? Fun.
Wait a minute.
Back to the bird.
I just.
By the
Yes.
way, when Vonrin snaps out and starts writing something down, just after you finish writing it, so what did you find there?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, so I hadn't I can't think of the name for my hawk, but basically he went in I am going to the town center, kind of the town hall. The door was kind of open. There wasn't that many actual undead around that area, to be honest. So I had land and go in. He did find a book, and I should have thought about this before I did so. It would have been much more smarter, but the book was opened. This is what I found, and I kind of show him the writing. But the book, the page this was on, absolutely seemed to just fall apart. Very much deteriorated from the age, I assume. It's definitely really old. Yeah, and I kind of like look, kind of show him with like in my book, and then kind of look back at it and be like, yeah. Have you seen anything like this?
As you say those words, you feel a crack. You didn't crack anything in your body, but you also can't feel your familiar anymore.
Shit. And I'm try to go back in it.
It's not there anymore. You can't access it.
Something got my familiar.
Alright then. Well, I don't think a zombie can go after them, so something's
There
in
was-
the hall.
There was nothing in my. There was no zombies like undead I could see. So something must have been within the building that I didn't see initially. Fuck. So he's like tapping his book. and
Anyways,
he's like,
can I take a look at those lines?
That shit
again?
costs a lot!
"Oh, yes,
Alright,
yes.
and then do I see anything? Or do I recognize anything? Any hint?
I help him look over it.
You help me look through.
Yeah.
Yes,
Be like,
help me
yeah.
look at this book.
Would that be...
Well, no, because we can go talk back and forth between it.
Can both of you make history checks for me, please?
Is it a... Hold on, really quickly,
Hmm?
Viking. Is it a language that would be potentially grabbed.
Oi.
Here, let me just send you my list of languages. Just in case.
Oh man.
Okay, let me have a look.
Is it one of those?
No.
Yes, an interesting selection, I know.
No, it isn't.
Ah, damn.
Right. Yeah. So history.
Yep. Both of you make a
History,
history check for me,
investigation.
please. That was not a
Sorry
history
about that.
check, but I'll take it.
Damn.
Okay then. Rurik, you didn't go to a big school like Vonrin. You don't recognize the language, and nothing in what you've learned in your history knowledge matches it. It doesn't quite fit with anything that you know. Vonrin, you recognize that it's definitely a language, but it doesn't match any of the languages that you know from what you learned at school.
Is it like a basis? Or is it like?
The
That's why I'm like thinking and saying out loud. It's like.
hang on.
Like, does it look like a completely different sort of language? Like, completely different symbols and everything?
Well,
Or is
'cause-
it more just similar-ish symbols in weird configurations?
For your information, because I believe it might actually help you if you want to use this. There's a in the player's handbook, I believe there's an area that talks about language and like there's like bases of a language and like
Oh yeah.
so cause I'll try it to help.
Also, yeah, I tossed you something Viking that I just remembered about.
Yeah.
If I could find it, yeah.
Personality and background, chapter 4.
Is it personality and background?
At least that's a potential. Ah, here we go. Yep, languages. A good amount of them share common scripts.
That's what it was. That's what I was trying to find.
Yes.
Yeah, scripts.
The language that it is most recognizable to is Draconic, but it's not Draconic. You don't recognize it, but there are some similarities to it.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So this.
Okay,
So
then.
from what I'm seeing here, it looks very similar to the Draconic script, but I don't know Draconic, and I don't recognize a lot of these.
I just put in it somewhere.
If I have an idea, but I don't remember if I have this one thing. So I'll have to.
I mean,
Do you have?
I've got a. There's only one person I could think of who might know this.
Oh.
But we can't exactly get to her right now.
Right.
And
Even if it was physically possible, I'm not sure you'd be able to get to her.
Yeah, one does not simply walk up to her either.
Right. Okay. I mean, I knew a few professors that could that were very language oriented. You know, where I learned my Elvish from. And some of my Yeah.
Fun fact, the other people in this world, or in this continent area, that speak Draconic are the Conclave. However, none of you know anything about the Conclave. You know that it's
Yeah.
primarily made up of Dragonborn, so they probably speak Draconic, but what if you went to talk to them, you imagine you'd probably end up as slaves, so probably best not to. You'd have to get back to the main
Right.
continent island anyway
Yeah.
for that one.
Yeah. Not really. Not much.
Ironically, in this situation, Red's option is probably the more feasible.
Oh god, that's hilarious. Because Honor, the only one who I can think of who might know what this is the Empress Christiel. And
You would
Okay.
recognize that name instantly as the Empress of Selendra. The Wastes. She's the Empress of the Wastes.
Well, how do you? What do you mean? How do you even know she would know this?
well, she tends to know a lot of things, so I'm just gonna
Right.
shrug.
Okay, right. Yeah. I know there's magics that might be able to help translate it, but I don't have.
I didn't take comprehend languages!
Legitimately, I am
Seriously,
yelling at myself.
first level spell. It's a ritual. You could have taken it.
You
now.
could have as well.
I could have, but the two things that I took, I probably didn't need to take now at this level. But you know what? I took it anyways. Comprehend languages does sort of throw away any sort of challenge that this situation entails. So.
I mean, good luck getting back to the main island, and good luck getting a fucking audience with Empress Christiel.
Oh yeah.
You might be surprised. You might open
Yeah.
some doors. You never know.
Yeah. For now, I guess.
Or you
I'll
might get thrown
just
in
have
dungeons.
to- We might have to come back here at some point and see what we can do about it, but for now, I guess we'll just we'll head back to the cart.
Okay, so you all head back to the cart after this. This has been happening as you've been going around. So you were about to sort of there by the time you finished this conversation, and then about 20-25 minutes later you made it back to the cart. I'm assuming you're hooking the cart up and fucking booking it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that was the plan. So you kind of push the donkey a little harder than he probably should have been, but he was willing to do it because he was pretty freaked out about this place as well. And you managed to make it back to the crossroads by dark. It's just becoming dark as you reach the crossroads.
Oh, Viking. You know what this means,
What?
though. You've got a reason to update the world anvil page.
I do. Shit.
I knew that'd be your reaction. Because she ain't on
Nope.
it.
By the way, we
Mm-hmm.
can. Should we stay here, guys? Or should we?
I mean, it is
keep
dark
going?
now, and you are in a pass full of fucking trees. And the moon, while being up, is being kind of blocked by a lot of the trees, so it's quite dark.
Yeah, it's probably a safer bet. Just sort of sitting down and trying to get a camp up here.
All right.
Well, I mean,
I'll,
it's not exactly the best place for one, but you know,
I mean, we might want to get off of the road and out a bit to
Yeah.
the east, maybe. There's a little bit, looks like a lake or something over there that we haven't seen yet.
Okay. Yeah. We'll.
not go through the forest.
I mean, as
Well,
far
we
as
still
you're
have to
aware,
go.
it's Trunks Forest.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it is. I'm just concerned that we might have to give him more food if we meet him again. Right, can do if you want. Up to yourselves.
I guess we could just stay here. Stay on the road.
I mean, there is a good 20 to 30 feet on either side of the road before you get to the woods. So there's plenty of space that you could potentially just camp just off the road or anything like that. and have clearish sight lines.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'll set up another set of alarms.
Okay.
Setting an hour, trying to make sure we got a good area around us set up and looking good.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
So while you do that, you guys want to chat about anything, or?
So those zombies, eh?
Right.
Run
Well,
it.
I mean, I don't begin to understand how any of this sort of magical bollocks works, but should we assume that what we've affectionately labelled as Old Yaren is
I still
may
think we
have
should
been-
name it that, though. We don't know what it's named yet, and getting a name attached right now would only confuse things if, well, we ever discover its old
Right.
name.
Anyway,
Aye.
Huh.
Well, I mean, we can see, can't we? Well, whatever it is, that place, that shit heap. If that's, like, I don't understand any of this magical bollocks, honestly. It's one of the reasons I'm so.
What, the things about the zombies, or?
Anything that made them, or anything around it. To be honest, well, you've been talking amongst yourselves about language and remnants and history of what's happened. Maybe I'm not entirely comfortable being around any of it. Honestly, if you
Yeah,
think
that's understandable. It does have a faint, lingering essence of magic, but nothing much.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't quite like it. Part of me feels like there's someone in it, or at least something behind it.
I would feel. I feel better just continuing on westwards and following this roadway. If we could assume though that whoever was living there, whoever was there, are the ones that created these roadways and created the stuff we've seen around the place so far. The
I mean, we
sort of
could.
signs of
We
habitation.
have another path to the
It-
west, and these people might not be the same ones who built the bridge up to the north,
That's
Oh,
that's
I
true.
was,
northwest.
I was gonna say, there's a part of me that feels like there's definitely more of these other places around. From what we can see, this island has definitely been populated before. If natively,
Centuries ago.
at least 400 years ago,
Yeah,
I'd
from
say
what
people
I
wiki.
well, as an example, when I was rummaging through that building site before, that looks to be something looks to have happened there between 50 and 100 years ago. So that's more recent than if you're saying hundreds for the sake of when the roads were put down.
Oh yeah, that's the
What,
idea.
over
And
town?
the roads were
Sorry?
put.
No. So, okay, out of character. The roads were put down sometime between 250 to 300 years ago. What are you going
Yeah.
about the town being put down 1500 years ago?
No, between 50 and 100. The building site that we passed through, when I stopped and rummaged through stuff, because there was a couple of there was bits of cloth still hanging around the place. I was just trying to get an idea of how old that
Oh,
building
okay,
site was.
gotcha.
The building site was sort of 50 to 100. Viking said around about 70-ish, but anyway, in that sort of.
Hang on, I'm
By
trying to
chance,
remember
would you
that
have
conversation.
That was just when I was rummaging through the chest that when we stopped by the first camp.
Oh
That
yeah,
spooky,
no,
spooky-
it was
spooky building.
the wood had rotted and that about it had
Yeah.
been sort of not maintained or anything for at least 70 odd years. At
Yeah.
least it could have been a lot longer. You weren't entirely sure.
Okay, fair enough. Older than 70 years. Fair enough. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, I was going to say, because after you said that, I was like, is it safe to say somewhere between 50 and 100? And you went, yeah. I was like, right, I'll put that down. Older than 70. I shall
Yep,
change.
above 70.
Yeah. If. Yeah, something about it just doesn't feel right. I'll definitely say whatever. If there are others out here, I'm hoping they're not like that old town there. Would say that doesn't give me good feelings at all. And hope that there's something better elsewhere.
Okay, who will take first watch for the night?
I'll take first watch.
Who will sit up with him? Or shall we do it as just it's...
Yeah, I'll do first watch
Okay,
as well.
I was going to say, shall we do it as Logan and Vonrin get first watch and so on? But no, if they're doing that, that's fine. So you park a little way off the road. You've still got a good 20 feet till you reach the trees. So you've got plenty of clear sight lines. Vonrin spends the next hour or so making his alarm, and I'm imagining Logan's putting down torches again. Gonna be running out of them very soon, mate. And everyone settles in for the night. Belhan, Red, roll me perception checks, please.
Alright. There we go. That's better.
You've been gradually getting better as the night has progressed.
Yeah, shame the session's not going to go on much longer. Otherwise, I'd be rolling natural 20s for the rest of it. There goes the coin.
Vonrin, you hear it's... Both of you feel this eerie chill constantly from... You don't know whether it's from the encounters of the day or whether it's just because you're kind of surrounded by creepy-looking dark forests all around. It's eerie and creepy, but nothing really happens. You hear wolves in the distance as usual. It's pretty much the norm for this surrounding area, just hearing wolves. You don't really hear much else. Maybe the odd deer in the distance, sort of running through the forest, and squirrels and such running around trees and that sort of thing. Nothing really happens.
Oh,
Hello.
Viking. Could I do a Arcana check to sort of like acclimate myself to the natural, like just sort of ambience of this place?
You know, a fucking druid?
Or this
Sure.
magical ambience? Well, I'm trying to like, you know how when you get used to sleeping in, like you just get used to certain sounds and whatnot. That's what I'm trying to do.
Alright.
So that way, if something gets cast nearby, it feels off.
Okay.
Wouldn't that just be sleeping around here?
No, he's trying to do it to the magical stuff. Like
It's like, think of it like training yourself to wake up for certain noises, like a foot scratching against the ground or a loose board creaking, but not for like the wind howling or a bat ramming into the window or something. No, not that. That's a bad
So
example. But like
yeah, as you settle down for the night, you manage to sort of magically attune yourself to this island. So you'll be alerted if magic is cast nearby or anything like that. Who will take next watch?
I'll take
I'll
it.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it with
Oh,
him as well.
right. Well, shit.
Oh, I'll do it
Fuck
with
them
him as
then.
well. Oh, fuck you.
Well, no,
You
if
can
you
fuck 'em.
you're the only one that can talk to that fucking bird, so you and Juliet can take.
Oh, I'm not the only one that can talk to the bird.
Well, she doesn't listen to anyone else. Does
Yes, she does.
Says
Do you-
me.
Right, is she awake?
No, she's
She's
asleep.
currently
She doesn't
asleep.
realize that she has to
I was
take
gonna
watch.
say, okay, you're like wake her up and say, "Do you listen to anyone else but that one?" No, didn't think so. Right, go out to sleep. Oh wait, you won't listen to me anyway. Fuck you.
Do you sprechen Sie English?
reverse psychology.
So
Just,
Alright, well,
just be
I'll
really standoff with her, just like look over the shoulder.
you two.
No, just wake her up, go to sleep, and don't keep watch with.
So you two get up for the night as Vonrin and Rurik go to bed.
I like to think we
We
just
wake
both
'em up.
randomly wake up, like at 3-hour intervals. Two people just
At
wake
the-
up and you don't know who
At
it
this
is.
point, it's starting to become a sort of ritual.
I mean, I like to wake up in the middle.
You say that, but we just shuffled fucking watches. I used to have the last watch of the night. Now I got the first
That's
one.
true.
Yeah, I like
It,
the middle.
it is gonna
Yeah,
keep
it's not
throwing
danger.
your sleep patterns off a little bit, but it'll be fine.
I mean, nah, mine's still the middle. Mine's always going to be the middle.
So, Musket, you and Josiah, please roll me perception.
Fucking close my character sheet. I didn't know that. I closed it. I didn't click perception.
Perception's one of my worst stats. It is my
Okay,
worst
that's
stat,
good.
actually.
So, Ellipsis, you're humming in your head or not focusing at all, as usual.
Everybody wants to be a cat.
Josiah, you are keeping watch while avoiding talking to the asshat.
Well, I think you're making a lot of decisions for us here. Hey, who's that?
I mean,
You
I
didn't
said
react. I'm sorry, that's not
he's
his name. No, meow.
avoiding talking to you. Whether he wants to or not is up to him.
Oh, there you go. He's talked to me now.
But
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go on. What's up, Lipsis? Sorry, I'm trying
nothing.
to actually, keep watching your humming or whatever the fuck you're doing.
Well, you got to keep yourself entertained somehow. I mean, you're not the most, prolific of companies, so.
You know what? You're right.
I do enjoy all this.
you know what? You're right.
You're right.
Looks this actor. You're not wrong.
Turn
all right?
back out into
You're
the
not wrong.
I am one with the night.
You and me, the adopted the betrayal I was born in. Kicks him out. No, joking.
But yeah, your watch goes by like the others, just some howling wolves, squirrels rolling around, fucking around, making noise, but nothing.
I swear to God, if there's something fucking wrong with a squirrel pop.
I just turn around and there's just three squirrels between us. We're like, oh, fucking hell.
How the fuck did you get there?
There's just squirrels shagging constantly everywhere.
Like rabbit squirrels.
You do hear crickets.
There's something wrong with it.
You do hear crickets. The
Crickets are banging as well. Fuck.
Crickets. Jeez.
the rarrels are fucking.
damn.
Would it be squibbits?
They're all horny.
Squibbits.
I start playing music over the top of it because that's what you do when people are having sex. They put on music to disguise it. But clearly,
Are you just playing like soft jazz for all of these squirrel couples?
Yeah, I'm playing some whiskey
All of the
jazz.
squibbits are currently fucking.
See, I can't play music because it's not in a Discord server or anything. Otherwise, I would show you what I was playing. What I'd be playing.
Yeah, nothing.
Well, and like
Nothing really
so-
happens. So
Yeah.
you come to the end of your watch. Nothing's really happened. Who is taking the last watch? I believe it will be Logan and Juliet.
I'll take it, but I'm not gonna wake her up to do it.
Aww.
Ooh, bold move. Wait till you get dragged off to the night and nobody sees you.
Okay, roll me a perception check then.
And a survival check. Oh.
We'll get to that. Good. You do see the giant cobra. No.
Alarm! Alarm!
Looked at me now.
Cobra could be ingesting Juliet.
It's already eaten half of the party.
Better yet, no, Nomeo. He's quicker to go down.
Less feathery.
You see, it is properly, quite happily munching on the ass.
Oh shit! Nobody checked the ass.
There is
You
no
always
cobra
come
eating the ass.
What
You
can
know,
I
oh
say?
shit.
There's-
That's check.
There is
things and
there
I
is
would
most
be yelling out loud in my life.
Oh no, ass check, ass check. Someone
Okay.
check the ass.
okay, guys. Nobody's eating ass tonight.
Well, apart from the
There's no
squibbits.
ass being eaten on this watch.
Oh,
Yeah, you never know. You never know what squibbits are into, man. Don't discriminate.
But yeah, your watch passes pretty much uneventfully. The wolves stop howling around 4:30ish.
Around the tree?
No.
You're a twat.
It's just the pack of wolves howling around our campfire, circling ominously.
They seem to be doing a ritual of some kind.
Tuga,
She has a ritual spell.
Suddenly, an army of squibbits.
Yeah, they've been raising them all night.
Yeah, it goes by uneventfully, and daybreak comes, and that is where we will leave off the session for tonight.
I'd like to point out just very quickly, Juliet has no proficient skills. Why?
Because fuck you, that's why.
Because she's
we
a
will
child?
fix
I'm
that.
gonna put
Yeah,
some
we
in
will fix
then.
that.
Well, the correct amount, yeah. That's fine. I just saw that then. I just literally opened up her sheet and I was like, oh shit. I wasn't sure if that was intentional because she's a child or.
And we explored a good amount.
Damn squibbits, be fucking.